In Newberry, about 3 minutes away from start time, joined by Blake Collins on commentary. Good to be here, Blake. How's it going today?
Absolutely lovely. A phenomenal day for baseball. The sun setting on Lake Olmsted Stadium. The lights are on bright. We're about to get ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I was looking at this schedules coming over, and Augusta 6-13, coming off that sweep loss against Columbus State. Just talk about some things that you saw from Augusta and some things they can do tonight to improve on their record.
The bullpen definitely hunkered down Sunday and took huge steps in the right direction. You always like to see quality starts with the bullpen, quality relief appearances. They only gave up 2 runs on Sunday. Much better than Saturday, much better than Friday. Bakari Gale for the offense for the Jags came up massive with a grand slam Saturday in what ultimately was a 1-run loss on Saturday. But the offense is starting to push through. They're starting to surge a little bit. Bullpen starting to hunker down on the defensive side for the Jags. So all in all, a great week coming up for the Jags with not only Newberry today, but we've got Young Harris this weekend. Let's see what happens, but starting off on the right foot if you're the Jags for today's ball game.
That's always good. Newberry had to play a couple games before coming up here, so their stamina is going to be something to keep an eye on as we progress. So we're going to get to the national anthem here, and we'll be back with the first inning play-by-play after this. Like to welcome everybody back out to Lake Olmsted Stadium. Jay Douglas, Blake Collins here for Augusta and Newberry. Augusta has taken the field, and their defensive layout looks like this. Jim Wagner in left field, Devin Billardello in center, Harrison Moore in right, Timothy Gray at third, and Zach Goebel at first, Trent Maddox and Mason Robertson at shortstop and second base respectively, and Caleb McElwaney gets the start behind the plate. Charlie Cochran gets the start on the mound. And Cochran's numbers coming in. This will be his 6th appearance, his 2nd start. He's 0-1, a 4.15 ERA, 13 innings pitched, 14 hits, 8 runs, 6 of them earned, 10 walks, and 7 strikeouts. And Blake, what can we expect from Charlie today to be effective in this outing?
Mixing up your pitches, mixing up locations very well. If you start off with a fastball, somewhere along the line a changeup's coming down the pipe, or a curveball, just something on speed to get them off kilter, and then come back with a fastball. Or doesn't matter if you start off with a curveball, mix it up and mix up locations very well, so that way you have the hitters for Newberry off balance all day long. With the already aforementioned, their long day ahead is they've had another game already played at their home field today, and they come back. They just arrived about an hour ago, so it'll be interesting to see how their stamina is today, but that'll be something for Cochran to maybe expose here as we go forward.
Let's take a look at the Wolves lineup. Danton Hyman will lead it off in center field. Colin Allman at short bats second. Derek Olnichuk in left field bats third. Ben Herring, the DH, bats fourth. Tyler Ackard at first base batting fifth. Harrison Kennard, the right fielder, bats sixth. Chase Barbary at catcher bats seventh. Peyton Spangler, third baseman, bats eighth. And Dalton Lansdowne, second baseman, rounds out the lineup. Augusta in the blue uniforms, blue jerseys, white pants, the white trim. and Newberry comes to the plate in the red uniforms with the gray pants, the gray trim. These two teams matched up last year, and I was here for it. 17 innings, folks. Buckle up. These two teams, they know how to play long games.
That was one of the better games I've seen out of Augusta's play, and for Newberry to come in and contest them like that. We might be in for that kind of a matchup here today as well.
First pitch is in there for a strike. It comes across at 6:04 local time. Cochran's 0-1. It is lined right back up the middle for a base hit, and Hyman is on with a single to get the game started. Right back up the box.
There's a gorgeous piece of hitting there by Hyman. Kept his hands in and just laced it back up the gut. Put it where Cochran originally pitched it. Pitched the baseball and then just shot it back up the gut for Newberry's first single of the game.
Your weather forecast at first pitch is 54 degrees. It will drop as the night goes on. Hyman, that's his 30th hit. He leads the team in average with a 414 average.
That's a phenomenal table setter. And also, too, you also look for your table setter or the first man up in the first to have a good amount of speed to him. So let's see if Newberry can utilize that to their advantage here against the Augusta D.
Hyman 5 of 7. Pitch is low from Cochran. It's a ball 1-0. The batter is now Colin Allman, 397 hitter with 5 home runs, 18 RBIs. He's second on the team in RBIs. He bats here with 1 on and nobody out here in the top of the first.
And if you're Cochran, you want to keep the ball down.
That is flown out the left side. Going to be a play made by the Augusta shortstop. That is Trent Maddox ranging all the way over into foul territory to get the out, 1 away.
Phenomenal job by Cochran. They're keeping it waist low to where only thing he could do with it was through the path of the bat, touch under the baseball, pop it up into short left field to where no advancement for Hyman at first base.
I'll bring up Derek Olenchuk. He's a lefty. He's a 357 hitter. No home runs, 6 RBIs. He bats with 1 out, 1 on. Cochran from the stretch, and he'll throw back to first, and Hyman is back safely. Newberry is 10-9 after winning a couple games. One yesterday, and then the game 1 of that doubleheader today. That is a bloop fly ball, and it's going to drop. Maddox couldn't get over to get it. He'll try and get the runner at second, but he can't get him. So a bloop single for Olenchuk. Puts runners at first and second. Got jammed a little bit, but able to muscle it enough where Maddox couldn't get to it in short left field.
It just shows you the control of his hands through the strike zone there, bringing the bat to the baseball and then having enough force through his legs and through his hands to bloop that over towards shortstop to stand at first base. And now Newberry has a opposing first inning threat here for the Jags.
That's a ball up and away, like a fastball there that tailed away. Ben Herring, the hitter now, 305 average with 1 home run, 9 RBIs. For Olenchuk, that's hit number 26 on the season. And Newberry has the first threat here in the top of the first. We are scoreless.
Jags still have a double play in order if they can elicit a ground ball here.
That's low and outside. Looked like something off speed, and it missed low and outside. Outfield fairly straight away. Center fielder Billadero is pulled over to the right a little bit. Now he'll go back to straightaway center.
And if you notice, too, James, the wind will not be much of a factor in this half of the first inning as it's blowing not very hard at this instance.
Looked like another off-speed pitch that caught the top part of the zone for a strike. 1-2 now. Or no, 2-1, my mistake. First and second, 2 singles in the inning. One was fairly well hit, the other one not so much. That's a ground ball up the middle, could be 2. To second for 1, throw back to first. No, beat it out, did Herring. So it goes 4-6 on the fielder's choice. Mason Robertson to Trent Maddox retires the Olenchuk, and Herring is aboard on a fielder's choice.
Slow developing play there by Herring. Put a good charge into it, bounced it up the gut, but Robertson did all he could there to knock the ball down and at least get the short out for the Jags. That's what you want to be sure. If you can't get 2, you want to be sure to get the 1 out, and it's a good play by Robertson to flip over to the shortstop for the Jags and secure that second out.
Here's Tyler Ackert, first baseman. He bats from the left side of RBI chance. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. That's a slider that caught the outside part of the zone for a strike, 0-1. Ackert, 286 hitter with, it's like 1 home run, 3 RBIs on the season.
And just one more thing on that last play. Robertson threw that slide, had great balance and great wherewithal to get out at second.
That's a bloop fly ball. It'll bounce on the infield. Max has to hurry, and he gets him by a couple of steps. So a pop-up that landed in front of Maddox, didn't try and catch it in the air, and still had time to get accurate. So Newberry threatens with 2 hits in the inning, but they can't get a run across. We are scoreless after half an inning. Augusta coming to bat in just a moment. I'd like to welcome everybody back into Lake Olmsted Stadium. Jay Douglas here with you. Blake Collins joins me. We're scoreless heading to the bottom of the first. Newberry takes the field. Their defensive layout looks like this. Derek Olenchuk in left, Danton Hyman in center, Harrison Kennard in right, Peyton Spangler at third, Tyler Ackert at first, Colin Allman at short, Dalton Lansdowne at second, Chase Barbary catches Thomas Sorcia Jr. Before we get to Sorcia's number, here's the lineup for the Jags. Devin Billardero leads it off in center field. Jim Wagner second in left field. Harrison Moore in right field bats third. Zach Goebel batting fourth at first base. Bakari Gale, designated here, bats fifth. Mason Robertson, second baseman, bats sixth. Caleb McElhaney, catcher, bats seventh. Timothy Gray, third baseman, bats eighth. And Trent Maddox, shortstop, bats ninth.
Yeah, Billardero shoots into this ballgame with a .347 average, 75 at bats on the season. It's acquired 15 runs on 26 hits. 3 of those have been 2 baggers, and he also has 1 triple on the year. That shows you kind of how good his speed is playing center field for the Jags.
First pitch from Sorcia was a fastball that caught the strike zone. Looked like another fastball, and it caught the bottom part of the zone. Sorcia making his second start, his 4th appearance, 1-0, the record, 0.00 ERA, 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 unearned run. The 0-2. Breaking ball inside, and it was a little too far inside. Billardero got out of the way, and the count is now 1-2.
Just released that fastball a little bit before his normal release point there, and it sailed on him. But that also could be utilized as a setup pitch.
Good-looking slider, first base side, room to be made for Ackert. He goes back and makes the catch. That's a foul out for Billardero, 1 down here in the Jags' first.
Billardero was covering the outside part of the plate, got a slider inside, pulled his hands in a little bit, and just under the baseball, and just popped it up.
So Jim Wagner comes to the plate, nobody on. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Wagner, .250 average, 1 home run, 9 RBIs. Sorcia, wind and pitch home. Low for a ball, like another fastball from Sorcia. 1-0 the count to Wagner. Nobody on, 1 out. We are scoreless.
And that's another thing the Jags did very well on Sunday is work the counts. And it's looking like for Wagner here, he's continuing to do that. And not only that, but it allows the Jags to see everything in Sorcia's arsenal so that the following batters could have better at-bats against Sorcia.
It's 3-0 now to Wagner. The last 2 pitches have missed outside. And Wagner can be selective here. He can take. He can try and swing away. We'll see what he does. Sorcia wind and pitch. And that's on the outside corner for a strike. 3-1 now. Sorcia working very quickly on the mound. Wind and pitch on a 3-1. That is fouled off the catcher Barbary. Seems to be okay. Wagner just got a piece of it.
And not only that, but with Sorcia's quick work, it also kind of throws the timing off for the Jags, too. You know, you kind of like a medium starting pitcher and his work rate. With him working fast, it throws their timing off at the plate.
That's downstairs for a ball. He walked him. So Wagner got ahead 3-0. Sorcia did a great job to battle back, but ultimately loses Wagner to a walk. And Harrison Moore will come up the right fielder. For Wagner, that will be walk number 7 on the season. So a lot of walks for Jim Wagner.
And look for Moore here to continue to surge and bring up his already high .414 batting average. He's been very consistent with hits for the Jags at the plate, and that is why he's in the cleanup spot, or excuse me, the
three-hole
for the Jags. And not only that, but those hits have been crucial, especially in last series. So see what Harrison Moore can do. He's already ahead in the count, 1 ball, no strikes.
Swing and a miss on that one, high and tight, 1-1. The first pitch was a slider that missed down. And the count is now even 1-1, 1 out. Wagner at first, who walked, and that's the first walk for Sorcia.
And just to attribute to that, in his 70 times migrating up to the plate, he's accumulated 29 hits off of those 70 trips up to the dish, and he's also accompanied 12 runs with that.
2-1 the count. 2 more. Wagner at first, who walked.
With 15 RBIs on the year as well for Moore.
They go back over to first. Wagner is back safely. Wagner, by the way, just 1 for 3 stealing, so not a huge threat, but he will go at times, so you got to keep him honest.
To keep him honest, but the trick for that is not to concentrate too much on Wagner and not concentrate as much on Moore, because if you lay a fastball in or if you lay a meat pitch up in the zone, Moore will attack it, and it'll cause more damage than what's already on the basis for the Jags.
Looks like Sorcia can't find that slider. He's missed with it. He tried to go inside, and he walks Moore, and that's back-to-back walks for Sorcia. So after getting Billadero to foul out, it's back-to-back walks, and now bring up the cleanup hitter, Zach Goebel. With a golden RBI chance for Zach here, your big first baseman.
And you're seeing a prime example of what pressure does to a pitcher, especially when you have speed on the bats like you do with Wagner and Moore. Now, the balancing act is an art form in and of itself, and the Jags now, with 1 out, have a threat going of their own.
They play Goebel to pull a little bit in center as Hyman is shaded to the left a little bit. Wagner at second and Moore at first. They both walked. A long look in from Sorcia. Now he's ready. Checks the runner, stretch and pitch. Downstairs for a ball. Like he tried his off-speed stuff again and just hasn't located with it. Fastball's been his best pitch here early.
That open stance, he can turn on anything inside. But it'll be interesting to see what he gets here to try to turn those 10 RBIs on the season into an 11th. That
is flown into center field. Hyman, plenty of room on it. He makes the catch, and Wagner will not advance. So Hyman didn't really have to move a whole lot, and Goebel flies out to center, and Bakari Gale will come up. 2 outs in the inning, and still an RBI chance out there for Bakari. Goebel, by the way, before that out was hitting .328. And now Gale, a .297 hitter with 3 home runs and 15 RBIs. The 15 RBIs is tied for second, so you like Bakari in this spot.
Absolutely, and 4 of those RBIs came on a massive grand slam on Saturday to initially put the Jags ahead. But as we mentioned before, they ultimately lost that game. But a great spot here for Gale to even persevere and accumulate more RBIs on the season.
Fastball located for a strike. 0-1 to Gale with 2 outs. Runners at first and second. They both got there on free passes. Sorcia trying to work out of the jam. Here's the 0-1. Stretch and pitch. Slider down and away for a ball, 1-1. Just can't find it on the slider right now.
And for Sorcia right now, you just want to pitch to contact, not try to be too phonetically finesse on the mound, because you already have 2 outs in your pocket at your advantage. So you want to just try to pitch to contact here and get a hard ground ball or a lazy fly ball that you can retire Gale on.
Like another off-speed pitch, breaking ball of some sort. It was in the dirt, blocked by Barbary, the catcher, 2-1. So Gale with a little bit of a hitter's count. First and second, 2 outs. There is no score in the ballgame. Jay Douglas, Blake Collins here at Lake Olmsted Stadium, home of the Augusta Jaguars. Stretch and pitch from Sorcia. That's downstairs, ball 3. Now a real hitter's count for Bakari. And Sorcia might have to give him something to hit here.
And now, too, to allude to that point, but Gale now knows something elevated is coming, because in a 3-1 count, you want to try to get a strike here and not work Bakari on. So you have a pitch that's elevated. You'll see if he attacks it.
He pops it up. It's in shallow right field. It'll barely get out of the infield. Second baseman Lansdowne wants it. He catches it for the final out. So Sorcia made the pitch when he had to and gets out of the inning unscathed. A pair of walks in the inning, but Augusta cannot score. We're scoreless heading to the top of the second. Back to Lake Olmsted Stadium in a moment. Welcome, everybody, back into Lake Olmsted Stadium. Jay Douglas, Blake Collins bringing you Augusta baseball against Newberry. Back to that game last year that I was here for when Newberry beat Augusta 9-8 in 17 innings. It was a pair of 5-run innings in the third that got us to the 6-6 score, and then it was pretty much a defensive struggle the rest of the way. So we'll see if the offense reigns supreme tonight or if it's another defensive struggle. The batter will be Card, and the first pitch from Cochran is in there for a called strike.
Great pitch settling on the outside corner there. Took a little bit off, expecting a fastball, got a changeup, and a quick first strike here for Cochran.
Wind-in pitch on the 0-1. A little bit low that time, 1-1, like another off-speed pitch. Kennard, 375 hitter, 1 home run, 3 RBIs, a total of 3 hits. This is just his second start. The 1-1 is on the outside corner for a strike, 1-2. Kennard didn't think so, but home plate umpire says it caught the outside corner, 1-2. Cochran ahead. Here's the wind-in pitch from the lefty. Breaking ball is fouled off left side. We'll do it again.
Great job of discipline at the plate, and then also just staying alive with that kind of an, swing up at the dish, but he's keeping the count alive and keeping his hopes for a base hit alive.
See what Cochran brings him on 1-2. Kennard from the left side, lefty on lefty. Here's the pitch. Just a bit low, I guess. Well, a pretty good pitch at the bottom of the zone, but a little too low. 2-2. Cochran can't let that game down to come right back. Here's the 2-2 wind-in pitch. Outside, and Kennard chased it and fouled it off left side.
You know, that's 2 defensive swings here from Kennard. So Cochran noticing that, if you know what pitch he threw to get those 2 defensive swings on, and you know if he's expecting another one, mess up his timing a little bit. Throw a changeup or throw a curveball. That way he's out in front of it, and you can send him back to the dugout packing.
See if he comes inside. He does not. He misses upstairs. Count runs full now. Good battle here by Kennard. He stayed away most of that bat Cochran has. Let's see if he tries to bust him inside. Payoff pitch on the way. It is flown over left side, but it'll get out of play. Foul. So count will remain full. We'll do it again.
3/4 of the pitches in this at bat is, you mentioned, James, have been on the outside corner, and with Kennard that close in at the plate, it would be a good idea to bust him inside here to tie him up.
Tried to go outside again. He missed it low and outside, and that's a walk for Kennard. Good at bat by Kennard, and that's the first walk of the day for Newberry, but it's the second straight inning with a base runner, and now bring up Chase Barbary, the catcher. And Barbary, 133 average, just his ninth appearance, his ninth start. Only 4 hits on the year. He's 4 for 30, so Cochran's got to get this guy right here. Throw home. He's showing bunt, and that is first base side. It is fair. They'll go to first for the sack. Advancing yards, so they put Barbary in the lineup to do some of that, and he does it effectively.
Great ABC baseball station to station there for Newberry, and also a good defensive play there. Typically, you want to try to watch the ball and see if it's and speed enough to go into foul territory. That it looked like the speed had died on the fair territory, so a good job by McElwain to be sure to get the first out at first, even though they've got a run 180 feet away from the plate.
The pitch to Spangler now gets away from McElwain initially, but he goes to get it. That surprisingly was Barbary's first sacrifice, and with a low average like that, I don't see why he wouldn't do it more, but good play call by the Newberry head coach. And now Spangler will bat, who's 250 average, no home runs, 6 RBIs, with Kennard at second, who walked. Here's the 1-0. Low and inside for a ball, 2-0.
Tried to nip the low corner there, just misfires. But this is also a situation to where chaos can happen when you put the ball in play, and manufacturing runs is a great sign of a good team.
Here's the 2-0. That's on the outside corner for a strike. Good pitch from Cochran, able to locate. He likes the outside corner early, but Spangler still has the count in his favor. It's 2-1 now. Nothing is your score here at Lake Olmsted Stadium. Jay Douglas and Blake Collins on hand for Augusta and Newberry. The rematch, so to speak. At least for me. I think they played later last year. Good-looking pitch. Might have been outside. Umpire says it was a bit high, too, so.
You can tell Cochran wanted an offer from Newberry at that pitch. Great vision at the plate there to lay off.
See if Cochran comes in with something or wants to go on to the 9 here. Lansdowne. Here's the 3-1. It's high and outside for a ball. Pair of walks in the inning. Spangler jogs to first. So both teams with a pair of walks, and the walk for Kennard is going to be walk number 2, and the walk for Spangler, that's his 9th actually, and it brings Dalton Lansdowne to the plate. 357 here, no home run, 6 RBIs.
It's a threat for Newberry with first and second, but it's also a key situation here for the Jags to turn a double play, because now you have a force at third, second, and first on the diamond.
Outfield play straight away. Infield at double play depth. Robertson is holding the runner on. They're going to bunt. McElwain's got to go to first, and he got him. So Newberry trying to play small ball. They now have second and third with 2 outs, and we go back to the top of the order. And Hyman, he actually had a pretty good cut the first time. He hit the ball right on the screw to lead off the game with a single.
That was phenomenal execution from Newberry, not taking a chance on any type of any double play. Just bunt them over, bunt them across, and now they've got 2 runners in scoring position.
Lansdowne is very effective. That's his 6th sacrifice on the season. 2 on, 2 out. Here's Hyman. Takes one on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Newberry threatens for the 2nd straight inning. Cochran trying to make a pitch to get out of it. 0-1 with 2 outs. There is no score. Cochran, bunt, foul, left side. Tried the suicide squeeze potentially, and it backfired for the Wolves. So Cochran can do what he wants here. He's got him up 0-2. There's a big hole up the middle, I may add. If Hyman goes right back up the middle, that'll score 2 because there's nobody close. Billadero's not playing too deep, but it's a long way off if it's a slow ground ball. 0-2 to Hyman. On the outside corner, they ring him up. A little bit of a late call, but Hyman is rung up on 3 straight pitches, and Cochran does what he has to do to get out of the inning, records his first strikeout, and the inning comes to a close. We'll go to the bottom of the 2nd. There is no score. Jags coming to bat when we come back. Like to welcome everybody back to Lake Olmsted Stadium. Jay Douglas here with you. Blake Collins joining me on the call for this Augusta Newberry matchup here at Lake Olmsted Stadium. There is no score. We move to the bottom of the second. There were no runs on a pair of walks. 2 men left in that last half inning. And Augusta comes to bat in the bottom of the second. Mason Robertson, Caleb McElwaney, and Timothy Gray, the first three due up for the Jags here in the bottom of the second. Robertson, 321 hitter, 2 home runs, 18 RBIs. 18 RBIs is tops on the team for Augusta. Sorcia back to work. Here's the wind-in pitch to Robertson. On the inside corner for a strike, 0-1.
He's another Augusta hitter that has phenomenal discipline at the plate. He'll take very close pitches, and it's often worked out for him because in 56 plate appearances, he also has acquired 18 hits on the season.
He's down in the hole 0-2 as that one caught the outside part of the zone. Sorcia well in front. He can do what he wants against Robertson. The 0-2 wind-in pitch. Here it is. Low, blocked up by the catcher Barbary, and the count is now 1-2 to Mason Robertson.
And one more attribute to the point we were just making is he is in second place on the team with walks at 11 on the season.
1-2 from Sorcia. That is flown on the infield now into shallow right. Second baseman Lansdowne will take it for the first out. So Lansdowne has made the last 2 outs. Now to bring up Caleb McElwaney to the plate. McElwaney 111, the average, just 3 of 27. This is his 8th start. No runs, 3 RBIs for Caleb. The first pitch from Sorcia to Caleb McElwaney is downstairs for a ball, 1-0.
Start him off with a sinker. It opens up the inside corner for Sorcia. Let's see what he does.
Slider on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Nobody on, 1 out. We are scoreless. Here's the 1-1. That is flown into left center field. It's going to get down. Could be a chance for 2. McElwaney will take a big turnaround first, but come back to second as Hyman gets it in. So McElwaney will be at first with a single, and that'll be Augusta's first hit. And Timothy Gray will come to the plate.
In that situation, McElwaney was 1 step mentally ahead of Sorcia there. Seeing as the second pitch of the at-bat was outside, realizing that he was going to try to bust him inside. So what does he do? Bring his hands in and fist one off in left center. Great at-bat there by McElwaney.
Here's Timothy Gray, 140 the average. McElwaney at first, Sorcia from the stretch. Here's the first pitch. Fastball downstairs for a ball, 1-0. Gray, by the way, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, so two of his 8 hits have been long balls. Here's a 1-0 from Sorcia. Like something off speed and missed inside, 2-0. Hitters count here for Gray. And these 2 guys at the bottom of the lineup that don't have the highest average on the team getting the job done. Here's a 2-0. Ground ball to short, could be 2. To second for 1, to first. Got him, inning over. 6-4-3. Allman to Lansdowne to Ackert, and the inning comes to a close. Well, the Jags get a hit rather, but that hit is erased on the 6-4-3 double play by Timothy Gray. We move to the top of the third. There is no score. We're back in just a moment. Welcome back in, everybody, to Lake Olmsted Stadium. Jay Douglas, Blake Collins on hand. Third inning we go. There is no score. The Jags got their first hit last inning, but it was erased on a 6-4-3 double play. Newberry comes to bat. 2, 3, and 4 due up. Colin Allman, Derek Olenchuk, and Ben Herring. Second time through the order against Charlie Cochran. See what Cochran offers up on the first pitch. Looked like a bit of a slider, and it stayed up and away for a ball, 1-0. Allman fouled out to short back in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Now Cochran starts to work quick. That's flown into center field, breaking up and now breaking back as Billardero puts it away for the out.
Pretty good play out there by Billardero, tracking to his right with the ball dying on him a little bit. Great speed and great recovery time there for Billardero.
Here's Olenchuk, who's 1 for 1. He singled, but then was erased on a fielder's choice. First pitch to him. Outside, or actually called the outside corner. I thought that was a little too far outside, but home plate umpire says it's good, so it's 0-1 to Olenchuk. The 0-1 from Cochran. Here it is. That is fisted into left field. It'll drop down for a base hit. Olenchuk has another hit. He may go for 2. A wide turnaround first. Now he'll go back. Left fielder Jim Wagner got to it fairly quickly and holds Olenchuk to a single, but he has his second hit of the day, does Derek.
So Cochran starts away high, elects to go away low, trying to set up for the inside corner, but the way Newberry there was stationed at the dish, he was crowding the play anyway, so to bust him inside right there could have proved fruitful for the Jags, but they elect to go outside, and now he's standing at first base.
That's fouled away right side and out of play. Ben Herring at the plate, 0 for 1, grounded into that fielder's choice back in the first. So Newberry has had a runner all 3 innings, and so has Augusta. Neither pitcher has gotten a 1-2-3 inning.
That just shows you how well these two pitchers do under pressure, as we saw Newberry with the threat in the first and second, and then Augusta's had runners on first as well. Both teams very controlled in a pressure cooker environment with threats on base.
Fouled out of play behind us, 0-2 to Ben Herring. Ackert would hit next. 0-2 from Cochran. Fisted back our way, foul. And it remains 0-2. Jammed him a little bit, but a good job by Herring to fight it off. So 0-2. The count remains to Herring. Olenchuk at first, who singled. 1 out in the inning. The Colin Allman flew out to center. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. That's the second strikeout for Cochran. The first swinging. And 2 outs in the inning, and Tyler Ackert will be the batter. He grounded out to short back in the first inning. A ball that was kind of blooped on the infield, and Trent Maddox decided to play it on a hop and threw him out at first.
It's a very tough decision at shortstop on that type of play, whether to charge or whether to play it back. Great decision. They just barely got him at first base. But also Cochran there with a phenomenal decision to bury one inside and get the second out.
0-1 on that off-speed pitch. Fastball low and outside for a ball, 1-1. 2 outs in the inning. Olenchuk stays at first. Ackert 0 for 1, as we mentioned. There is no score in the ball game. Jay Douglas, Blake Collins bringing you all the action tonight. So glad you've joined us. Here's the 1-1. On the outside corner for a strike, 1-2. Ackert down to his last strike. He tries to extend the inning for Harrison Kennard. 1-2 to Ackert. Runner at first, 2 outs. Here's pitch. Blocked up by McElwain. Going to second. Throw down, and they got him. Yes! Olenchuk is caught stealing, and that ends the inning. So we will head to the bottom of the third. There is no score. No runs off a hit. No errors, and no men left. 0-0 your score. Bottom of third comes your way next. Welcome you back to Lake Olmsted Stadium. Jay Douglas, Blake Collins here. Augusta and Newberry are scoreless as we go to the bottom of the third. 9-1-2 due up for the Jags here in the bottom of the third. Trent Maddox, Devin Billardello, and Jim Wagner due up for the Jags here in the bottom of the third. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for Newberry. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Jags of Augusta. And Trent Maddox, the shortstop, hits. Maddox on the season, 183 hitter, 11 hits total. 3 of them have been doubles, no home runs, 4 RBIs for Trent. First pitch to him. Catches the bottom part of the zone for a strike, 0-1.
Good initial pitch of this at-bat, freezing Maddox. Couldn't ask for a better start to this at-bat if you're Newberry and Sorcia.
Sorcia's pitch. Not sure where it missed. Maybe a little high and possibly outside. 1-1 now.
Just as equally as it was great pitching there by Sorcia. Phenomenal vision there by Maddox to battle back and deadlock the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Here is the 1-1. Swing and a miss on a slider there. 0-0 your score. Maddox leading off the bottom of the third for Augusta.
It's tough to tell how much rotation, how much sink a sinker has, and Maddox just got fooled and swung over the top of one there.
That's low and outside for a ball. 2-2 now to Trent Maddox, the number 9 hitter, with Billardello on deck and Wagner in the hole. Sorcia back ready. 2-2, wind and pitch home. Here it is. Low and in. No, rung him up. A little bit of a late call again, but Maddox is rung up. That'll be Sorcia's first strikeout of the day. And Billardello will come up with nobody on and 1 out in a scoreless ball game.
That's where disciplinized does have disadvantages. You can be too disciplined at times, and it came back to bite the Jags right there.
Sorcia works with nobody on and 1 out. Billardello at the plate. Here's the first pitch to him. Good looking slider there. It's going to be a foul ball left side. 0-1 to Billardello. He'll come back and try it again. Devin fouled out to first, back in the first.
Good idea from Billardello there. It almost works like a swinging bunt there going up the line with his speed. He could have easily beat the wrap to first base, but third baseman on the occasion, Spangler for Newberry. Great decision there to let that trickle foul.
See what Billardello is looking at here from Sorcia. 0-1 the count. 1 out in the inning. Nobody on base, and we are scoreless. Jay Douglas and Blake Collins bringing the action. Here's the 0-1. Another slider that missed outside. 1-1.
And you can just see the tilt and the dying effect of that slider as that ventured down almost in the dirt. A great decision to let that travel in the dirt for the Jags.
Fastball in on the hands. 1-2. Billardello fouls it off right side off the Newberry dugout. Everybody seems to be okay. It hit kind of the fencing part low, didn't really go up high, so good news there. Sorcia winds in pitch on a 1-2. Here it is. Another slider, a little too far inside according to the home plate umpire. The Newberry dugout and contingent wanted the inside corner.
That was a very close pitch to take for Billardello, but a great job at doing it as it's now an even count.
Here's a 2-2. That one got away from him and bounced up there. Barbary will get the new baseball back to Sorcia. Now, Sorcia cannot let that pitch that he missed allow him to lose Billardello here. Got to come back and get him.
Because with Billardello's speed, the Jags can either hit and run or steal, and that would be a pure detriment for Newberry with this point in the game, and we're scoreless right now.
That's fouled off right side, out of play. Count remains full, 1 out here in the bottom of the third. There is no score, nobody on, 1 out. Jay Douglas, Blake Collins at Lake Olmsted Stadium, home of the Augusta Jaguars. Payoff pitch again to Billardello. Slider, ground ball, left side, deep in the hole. Shortstop, Allman, not going to have a play. He knocked it down initially, it rolled away from him, and he had no play. I think we'll give him the infield hit on that one.
The backhanded stab as you're migrating to the opposite side, playing it off the front side, but your glove's on the back. That is the hardest ball to make a full pickup on, and then you would have even more difficult jumping and transferring to make the throw. So a good job there for the shortstop to knock it down, but Devin Billardello's speed definitely helps the Jags out there.
So Jim Wagner will come up. He walked back in the first. Billadello at first. See if he goes. He does not. First pitch flown into right field. It's shallow. Breaking back now, coming up and making the catch, the right fielder Harrison Kennard. So 2 down in the inning. And that'll bring up Harrison Moore. So Billadello remains at first, and Moore bats with 1 on and 2 outs in a scoreless ball game. Moore walked back in the first inning as well.
Looked like that ball from Wagner had a little bit of topspin on it going out to right field, and that's why the right fielder redirected his path to trek back in to catch the baseball. You can never tell what the baseball is going to do in the air, and that time Newberry recuperated in time for the out.
Always a good idea to break back, too. You never want to break forward.
Absolutely.
1-0 is grounded to short. Should end the inning. They'll go to second and get out of it. Allman makes the play to retire Billadello, so it will go 6-4 on the fielder's choice. Newberry is out of the inning. No runs on an infield hit for Augusta. We head to the fourth. We are scoreless. Newberry comes to bat in just a moment. Welcome, everybody, back into Lake Olmsted Stadium. We go to the fourth. We are scoreless. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for Newberry. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for Augusta. And here to take you through the middle 3 innings, my partner, Blake Collins.
Thank you, James. As Ackward stands back in for Newberry, trying to jumpstart this offense. They've done really well at getting the first man on the base pads for Newberry. First man up, especially within the first couple of innings, has had really good success in starting the threat. They just hadn't been able to circle around and implement any damage while threatening. But Ackward there sends one past a diving Goebel at first base. Goebel did all he could to try to come up with that pitch. Just, you can never tell what a baseball is going to do as it trickles in the infield. That time, it took a bad carom and a bad bounce, and Goebel misplayed it. And now, Newberry is in this with Ackward at second base, and Kennard at the dish looking to inflict some damage and acquire Newberry's first run.
Interesting to see if they try and bunt him over here. And that ball was just inside the first base bag. Ooh, that's a good-looking pitch.
Cochran buries a fastball inside. He's doing now what he wanted to do in the first couple innings. Bury the Newberry hitters inside, make them bring their arms into the body and get the bat head around the baseball. That's extremely tough to do if you are a hitter. Good first pitch for Cochran. He gets the result he wanted in the first strike.
Maddox holds Ackert on.
And you got to believe with Kennard looking to bunt it over to the third base bag, the pitcher and the catcher will field it while Gray heads over to first to cover to circumvent moving up 90 feet for Newberry if Kennard can get the bunt down. If it's on the right side of the diamond, then he will do his job as Ackward will advance. That ball's carried out to right field and in foul territory. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the board as your count.
Huge hole up the middle, as I mentioned, because with Maddox holding Ackert on at second in case of pickoff play, a lot of room up the middle.
Absolutely, and Robertson plugging up the hole on the right side between second and first.
Ooh, yes. Good pitch.
Tried to peg the outside corner, and he does peg it beautifully as Kennard is sent down on strikes.
I'll tell you what, our home plate umpire a little late with his calls. I mean, he delays a little bit, so we do apologize if we don't get it to you right away.
And that will hand the at-bat off to try to secure the first run to Barberry, the Newberry catcher. And he looks to be aggressive at the initial onset of this at-bat and swings right over a sinker. Great pitch to start up the at-bat by Cochran. Cochran now is set, wheels and deals. Fastball, trying to navigate to the outside corner, and does, but Barberry fouls it off. And Barberry, after that defensive swing, looks to renegotiate with his timing and see if he can make contact and put the ball in play to usher the runner at second over to third. Let's see if he can do that. But Cochran has other things in mind as that sinker starts to tail in the dirt, and it's popped out to
foul, right? Yeah.
It's in foul territory. A great job there from Robertson to try to make a diving stab, but just falls a little bit in front of the dive, and Newberry has second life here in this at-bat.
Might have been a good idea to let that one fall anyways, because if he catches it, you're tagging and going to third.
Absolutely.
But a heck of an effort by Robertson not to take anything away from him. Laid out full extension. And it was close whether he touched it in fair or foul. I thought it was foul, and the umpire agreed.
And so now, where it is now, it's sort of an oxymoron, because if you move him over to third base and you make that catch, you have 2 outs, and the next out will be the ending inning out, and the threat will be averted. But as it is now, the Jags have to get 2 outs here to navigate out of this inning, and the count is still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cochran fires to the dish inside. Got a good piece of that fastball and muscles it back. Phenomenal plate coverage here from Barberry. And that ball shoots back our way. The overhang here at Lake Olmsted Stadium takes a dent.
There is no netting in the booth, so we got to be quick if it comes in here. Duck and cover or bare hand.
Quick reflexes and great hands will save not only us, but the equipment we have up here. And that ball is skied out to right field, and Robertson showing off a good arm after retaining the catch there for the second out, keeping the Newberry threat at bay. So no advancement there, and the Jags now have set down 2 Newberry batters here in the top half of the 4th inning.
Robertson had to cover a lot of ground on that one, and he made the catch. That one hung up a little bit more for him, and it was a little bit closer to where he had to go.
So the Wolves look to continue to move across the base pass to score their first run, but if the Jags have anything to say about it, they will not allow it as there's 2 outs. And then Cochran double checks on the runner at second, steps off, fires back over to home plate this time, and a fastball that connects with the outside corner. It will be their third baseman, Spangler, with his attempt to muscle up and knock in that run from second.
A little low, I guess.
Just barely outside, says the home plate umpire, as Cochran is trying to paint a masterpiece on the outside corner. Has hit some, but is also, as in Battleship as well, misfire. And Cochran takes a little bit of speed off, not much, but just enough for Spangler to be out in front of that pitch. As it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
See if they attack the outside. That's where Cochran loves to go, outside.
They do just that on a sinker, no doubt, and Spangler lays off of it. Good intentions there to not offer it that. As Cochran is looking to obtain the strikeout.
Got him.
And he does just that off a sinker on the inside corner to throw over to first base because McElhinney dropped the sinker, and the side, well, not the side, but the Wolves are retired here in the 4th inning as we mosey on to the Jags half of the 4th inning. It's a pitcher's duel, folks. We have zeros on the board for the score. Newberry has 4 hits. The Jags look to counter with more hits as they already have 2 on the board. We'll see what they can do after these messages. Goebel marches up here in the bottom half of the 4th inning for his second plate appearance. The Jags do have some action in their bullpen, so Cochran may come back out for the top half of the 5th, but his leash may be short. We would just have to wait and see. Goebel does not swing at that pitch nor the first pitch, so he is quickly ahead in this count. 2 balls and no strikes.
And to kind of piggyback off that, Blake, no action in Newberry's pen, so it's Sorcia's game as of right now. And both pitchers, I will say, have been effective, so you don't really know what mind games the managers are playing right now.
It's been a very controlled pitcher's duel for both Cochran and Sorcia on the hills for the Jags and the Wolves. Is that pitch from Goebel is lined out right. And a loud first out is obtained for the Wolves, as that was a screamer that was shot to the warning track, but the ground was covered enough for Kennard to make the out.
And, you know, Kennard made the catch. It was kind of down by his leg, so that ball was sinking too.
It's a difficult play for the right fielder to make. Now Corey Gale stands in, looking to make his mark at the dish and find his way on base. As he swings under that pitch and skies it in foul territory, out of play over on the third base side. Sorcy again winds up and fires inside fastball that Gale laces to left field. Trouble out there for the Wolves in playing that ball, but they do hold Gale to a double. And So a great piece of hitting there by Gale ushers in a one-out imposing threat. Let's see if Mason Robertson, second baseman for the Jazz, can capitalize on this threat and played across the initial dagger going to the Jaguars.
It's a great piece of hitting by Gale to put it inside the third base bag.
And got the bat head out in front of it and just pulled it down the third base line to where Newberry could not make a play as hard as they tried.
Olenchuk out there in left field chased it down about as quick as he could to hold Gale to a double.
And now you've got Spangler playing even with the bag, maybe anticipating a bunt here. But that ball is shot past the catcher off a wild pitch, a sinker that just cannot be corralled by Barberry. And Gale moseys on up to third base. Now,
ideal situation here for the Jags. Runner at first with one out. Runner at third, one out. Sack fly. Infield's going to come in, so it seems like it has to leave the infield to get the run in.
Exactly, and the thing is now, too, there it's going to put even more pressure on the defense because if it's not a sharply hit ground ball, Bakari Gale's speed at third base home will cause immense pressure on their transfers, their deliveries to get that out of the plate and cut off the go-ahead run.
Infield playing way in. Outfield is still medium depth.
So Mason's job here is to elevate the baseball over the infield.
Looks like Sorcia is going to put him on, and maybe they'll sacrifice the double play for a run if they get McElwain to ground out.
3 balls on the at-bat. And the fourth ball, as James mentioned, is across the dish, and Robertson with good speed over at first base now gives the at-bat to Caleb McElwain, the catcher.
That wasn't your typical intentional walk, but it was. Wasn't going to give Robertson anything to hit. Now the infield is still going to play in, so maybe the double play, maybe they'll do it up the middle. Yeah, up the middle they'll go for 2. On the corners they'll come home. Golden opportunity here for McElwain.
If it's hit to first base sharply, then the first baseman will come home. But if it's hit to first base not as sharp, then he'll try to turn 2 at second and then back first where the pitcher will cover the first base bag. As he's holding on Robertson at first now, but he'll slowly make his way off. And that ball's in the dirt. Robertson takes off, and a smart base running decision there to gallivant to second base, knowing there would not be a throw because that would allow Gale to score from third.
Now infield playing back.
So all this is coming down the pipe with 1 out here for the Jags in their half of the fourth. And that ball is
Base it.
rocketed into right field. Great piece of hitting by McElwain. Second run, shoots across the plate. The Jags fire up their offense and now have a 2-run advantage on the Wolves. Great piece of hitting by McElwain, not trying to do too much with that pitch. Just going with the pitch, using Sorcia's speed against him there and deadening the ball in right field before the right fielder could have any type of play on the ball. And so now McElwain watches the Sorcia and
RBI's 4 and 5 for him.
And the Gray at bat from second base. Sorcia, his first pitch to Gray. Fastball streaming to the outside corner. Great pitch there by Sorcia to get ahead of the count, one strike. The advantage will be to Sorcia here because he is a right-handed pitcher facing Gray, the right-handed batter. And a sinker there catches the lower part of the zone. And Gray thought it was going to die before it got to the dish, so he stands and looks at his second strike.
19th run of the year scored by Gale. And we'll get to Robertson's 11th run scored.
As Gray steps back out, and now it's ready to swing and try to put this ball in play. Down 2 strikes. Tries to nap the outside corner there, but a little bit off guard for Sorcia. So Gray is still in a hole, but it's a closer hole with 1 ball on the board and 2 strikes as well.
Ooh, a pretty good pitch.
Tried to cinch in the strike with a slider there. Could not connect with the outside corner. It's a beautiful pitch. Great discipline from Gray not to offer at it.
It's still Sorcia's game, no action. Got him.
Fastball blows right past Gray there. Great at bat, but not the appearance that he wanted as he gets sent down on strikes. And now Trent Maddox is up at the dish for the Jags.
It's a big spot right here for Maddox to get on and then turn the lineup over. That would be a huge spot for Maddox right here.
You've got to watch out for Sorcia's sinker, though, as that's proven to throw the Jags off their game a little bit. And he swings at the first pitch fastball inside and laces it into center field. Phenomenal piece of hitting, bringing his hands inside the baseball and shooting it right back up the pipe for the Jags' 3rd run in the inning. Maddox didn't hardly waste any time there on the first pitch he saw. Liked what he saw, pulled his hands in, and just obtained the Jags' 3rd run. And that does, as you mentioned, shoot it back up to the top of the order. And Devin Bilardello stands in now with a chance to push over Maddox to second base.
A slider again.
Loves that slider, but he cannot pinpoint the strike zone with this one.
So 2 runs come with 1 out, and then 1 run comes with 2 outs in the inning. Out of play.
That ball's, yep, as you said, lifted foul, out of play.
Now we are going to get some action in Newberry bullpen. A catcher and pitcher have walked down to start throwing a little bit. Oh.
That almost hit. Bilardello fisted to the pitcher. Good job to even get a piece of that, but Sorcia underhands it to first base, and that retires the Jags in their bottom half of the 4th inning, but not before striking with 3 runs in the bottom half of the 4th. We move on to the top half of the 5th inning. How will the Wolves respond? There's only one way to find out, and you know that's right back here. So the Jaguars elect to go to their bull. And new hurler on the bump for the Jags is Chase Sloan. To give you more on that and to give you Also, the line for Cochran, here is James.
So Sloan going to make his 6th appearance, all relief, 0-2 the record, 6.43 the ERA, 7 innings pitched, 10 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Opponents hit .333 against him. Cochran's final line, 4 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks.
So a solid start for Cochran. Now he turns it over to the bullpen. The bullpen has had their troubles in the past, but they look to shut the door on the Wolves here. First pitch from Sloan is a strike.
So Cochran in line to get the win now, as he was the pitcher of record when Augusta took the lead.
Sloan fires back. Tried to nail the outside corner with a fastball there, but tails back too far outside. Sloan, a very quick worker, ushers in his 3rd pitch. A sinker is nowhere near the strike zone.
9-1-2 for Newberry, so this is the part of the lineup they want up.
Yeah, Lansdowne looks at his 4th pitch low, so Sloan is coming to the ball game and is quickly falling behind in the count. 3 balls and 1 strike to his first hitter he faces in Lansdowne. And that ball squirted over to second base.
Oh.
Robertson had a good beat on it, but could not gobble it up in the glove cleanly.
I think that'll be an error there, Blake. Be the first one of the game.
Yeah, and that's a tough play to try to field with your momentum going over to first base, trying to get your glove around the baseball. Just could not come up with it cleanly for Robertson.
And just to kind of piggyback off what you were talking about, I'm looking at these bullpen numbers. Aaron Chick, 5.79 ERA. Brennan Berger, 6.61. I'll get to more after the pitch. 6.97 for Ben Parr. David Hagelston, 8.10. Casey Lenock, 8.18. Tony Jones, 10.80. Cody Pugh, 14.40. I mean, that's not going to win you a whole lot of games.
It's not, but the Jags, like we talked about in the open, they have done a little bit better the past couple of games as far as the bullpen goes. We'll see if they can continue that trend in today's ball game. But Sloan, starting off for the bullpen, is in a little bit of trouble with a runner at first base and a 1 ball and 1 strike count to the center fielder Hyman.
And with Augusta being 7 games under 500, there's no time like the present to make those adjustments.
Absolutely. And not only that, with this being a non-conference game, you want to make those adjustments in this type of game to get ready for conference play this weekend. That ball is punched into the ground. Robertson doesn't even think about second and just fires over to first for the sure first out. The Wolves might have had a little bit of offensive strategy with a hit and run on, and it pays off for them, as what looked to be a sure double play turns in to only 1 out, and the Jags did not get the lead runner, so
Augusta sitting at
second.
3rd from the bottom in the conference, by the way, 4-8 in conference play, ahead of Lander and Georgia Southwestern.
Takes off for 3rd,
in there.
and he makes it easily. So Lansdowne showing his speed out on the base pads.
That's going to be an unearned run if it scores.
And he is trying to make sparks happen here with his feet. And he does just that as he lands on 3rd base. And that ball is roped into center field. Devin Billardello makes the play and throws it home. A good throw for Billardello, just offline. Missed the cutoff man where he was nowhere in the vicinity. Threw all the way home on 1 bounce, just wide of the mark. And the Wolves, off a sacrifice fly, obtain their first run.
No harm done, though. If you're Sloan, you got 2 outs, nobody on, you still have a 2-run lead. Go get your man, who is Olenchuk right now.
Absolutely. And the thing is, too, you're still up 2. So you really, as that ball is batted into the ground, second baseman Robertson fires to first, and
Good
that
pick.
will end the inning off the pick from Goebel. And the Jags do let one come across, but have a 2-run cushion. As we mosey on into the bottom half of the 5th inning, it's the Jags' turn to see if they can get that insurance run back. So the Jags turn to their bullpen. Bullpen shuts the door for the most part, only allowing 1 run off of Landau's feet, creating havoc with his feet, advancing 2 bases, and comes in home. But the Jags, otherwise than that, slammed the door on the Wolves, and now it's still Sorcia's ball game. He is in his 5th inning of work. I'm not sure how long he will be out there because, as we mentioned last half inning, there is action in their bullpen, and with 3 runs already in, it is going to be a tight leash for him. His first pitch of the at-bat to, believe,
Jim Wagner.
Jim Wagner up at the dish is outside.
And to piggyback off who's in the bullpen, it is a lefty for Newberry. We know that. And I wanted to touch on last year's game again. Augusta had to come from behind on 2 separate occasions, so this game kind of has a different feel with Augusta being in front.
And I know last year we were here for about 6 hours calling that game, and what was an
17 innings.
absolute barn burner affair. This game right now is tight with a 2-run advantage going in the Jags' way as Wagner just swings over another sinker for his 2nd strike.
And piggybacking off that as well, from the 9th inning to the 16th inning, there was no scoring. Newberry, Augusta tied up in the bottom of the 8th. Newberry took the lead at the top of the 17th, and that's how it ended.
Which that just goes to show you how strong both bullpens were last year in that ball game. Augusta's trying to do the same thing, only allowing the run last half inning, still holding a 2-run advantage. And now Wagner serves one over to left field.
That was ball 4.
That was, and now Wagner's looking at a full count here with the payoff pitch coming right at you. And that ball's skewed into right field in front of Kennard, and Wagner has great speed over at first base. And the Jags have something cooking.
That's the 6th hit of the night. And it's actually the 4th hit in the last 2 innings.
The question is, can a consistent bat and more move Wagner over to second base? He's been very consistent at the dish with accumulating hits. So it looks good for the Jags, but if Sorcy has anything to do with it, he will not allow that to happen with a slider that ventures outside of the strike zone.
No sacrifices on the year for Moore. And you don't really ask your 3-hole hitter to bunt too much, so probably won't see that.
You may see a hit-and-run type of maneuver here for the Jags, though, as that ball is just popped over toward first base, and the first baseman migrates back a couple of steps and makes the grab.
Accurate on the put out there. Jammed him inside and got the out, and now another double play gets Newberry out of the inning as Goebel trots to the plate.
So with Goebel seeing that he's expecting the ball down, it may adjust his swing path just a little bit to compensate for that. He wants to try to elevate the ball and get it out into the outfield as much as he can here to circumvent a double play. And his first pitch he sees, so little low, tried to entice him there and tried to navigate the low outside corner, but to no avail. Again, same location, same result.
Goebel 0 for 2. He's flown out both times. Let's see if he tries to put the ball on the ground here.
And now Sorcia receives the sign. He winds up.
Oh, good pitch.
Took a little bit off. A change up there. Had Goebel out in front. And again, with the speed at first, Jags may want to look at doing a hit and run here. As it's seeming like Sorcia, off of that slider as well, is keeping the ball down. So noticing that, you might want to try to circumnavigate that and shoot Wagner off from first to second. But you want to make sure Goebel has that same mentality and makes contact with the baseball. And he does just that there and shoots one out into center field. A laser line drive that Hyman corrals. And it is the second out is in the books as the hero in Saturday's affair, Bakari Gale, stands in. Saturday, Gale came up with the bases juiced and wrapped the bat head around and pulled off a grand slam to initially give the Jags the lead in that affair. Let's see if he can account for the insurance run that is on first base with a base hit, but he takes the first strike of this at-bat. Fastball inside corner.
This could be Sorcia's last hitter because the lefty in the bullpen for Newberry, you got Robertson, a lefty, coming up. So this could be Sorcia's last guy.
As you mentioned, that Wagner takes off, and the throw is wide off the bag. Pretty good stop by the second baseman for Newberry not to let that ball venture into center field, and Wagner could have possibly migrated to third base. So a great job there from Lansdowne to keep that ball, or at least knock that ball down and keep that ball in front of him.
Gale's got to be defensive here. He's down 0-2.
Protection is paramount for Gale at the plate. So fastball, you could see where that ball was heading from Sorcia's hand there.
Yeah, setting up outside, wasting a pitch.
Trying to set up Gale, maybe on the inside or low in the zone. If you're Gale here, you want to look for a changeup or a curveball, since the last two pitches were fastballs.
Got him.
Sinker there by Soria has Gale trying to be too aggressive there, swings through it and misses, and that closes the book on the Jags' fifth inning. Sixth inning is right around the corner. This is a chance for the Jags bullpen to improve their ERA, as it's the bullpen's game right now with Sloan coming in, only allowing one run in the fourth. Now the pitcher,
Aaron Chick, no record, sixth appearance, 5.79 ERA, 4 2/3, 4 hits, 4 runs. 3 of them are earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Opponents hit .235 against Aaron Chick, the new pitcher for the Jags.
right-hander that has a 3/4 delivery And let's see what the Wolves can counter with here. Looking to come rolling back, down by 2.
It's been a fast-moving game, if I may add. Augusta's had the lead from the get-go, scoring those 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th.
And the Wolves look to have their 4, 5, and 6 hitters, Herring, Awkward, and Kennard, as the 3 up in the 6th inning. If anybody gets on, then it will be Barberry's turn at the dish. So Ben Herring walks up. And you may see Herring try to work the count a little bit here from Chick. Not only seeing the speed of his pitches, but also giving a little bit of information to the following hitters at the dish. But instead, he sees a first pitch fastball he likes, blasts him inside, but has enough on the aluminum bat to escort it out to center field. That's where you find Devin Billardello. Therefore, the first out. So Chick on one pitch, very rapid work, taking care of Herring. And now Ockard stands in, tried to bunt his way on. A smart idea with Gray playing back a few steps. Now he ushers in, even with the bag. And with him being a left-handed hitter, you almost look for him, if he does bunt, to butt it to the third base line, but instead he pulls that back and swings the second pitch. 2 rapid strikes on the first baseman.
Outfield straight away, infield back a little bit in the middle.
Chick fires away, tries to invade the outside corner, but the invasion misses just a little bit. He's still ahead in the count, though, with 1 strike. That evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes off a sinker that bat is kept on the shoulder. And that ball, they're loving these inside pitches as they're bringing their hands in, and that finds a hole out in left center field. So Ockard, again, finds a way to get on base and hands the baton in the at-bat off to Kennard.
Tying run at the plate now. No damage done, though, for Chick. Got to come right back at Kennard here.
And even though Billardello is playing Kennard a little bit to right center, he still has a little bit more real estate in right center than he does in left center, seeing how Wagner is playing Kennard off the line.
You see Chick there throwing over to first. No stolen base attempt this year for Ackert as first pitch came in.
So now the first pitch already a ball. Chick is down in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Let's see what he comes up firing here next. Delivery, pitch, fastball, tries to cinch in the inside corner. Just too far inside. It's a gorgeous pitch, though.
Hitters count here for Kennard. Got to be careful if you're Aaron Chick. Don't want to give him anything to drive here. Got it. Nice.
Fastball. Kennard was behind a little bit. Had to play catch up and elevates it into short left field. And that is where Maddox hauls it in.
Heck of a pitch there, down 2-0 to get him to pop it up. Great job by Chick there.
And the thing about it is, too, with them crowding the inside corner, that was outside, right in their wheelhouse, and the Wolves could still not do anything with that pitch. So now, 2 down. as
Back our way.
first pitch. They're very aggressive this inning for the Wolves, trying to create havoc and usher in not only the second run, but the game-tying run, who is at the dish for the Wolves. But Chick already has a strike at his disposal.
Good pitch.
A target acquired and target located with a beautiful strike on the inside corner from Chick. And now Barberry is down to his last strike.
Go right after him.
They try to do just that, but miss the outside corner just a hair, this Chick.
Go ahead.
With a fastball.
Maybe bluffing with Acker trying to steal might have thrown off Chick's timing a little bit. Can't get discouraged, though. Got to come right back at him.
Checked his swing. Beautiful decision there by Barberry, noticing the sinker was going to die before it reaches the plate. And that gets Acker off to second now, so he is in scoring position. The only problem with that is the Wolves are down to their last strike.
Base hit probably scores Acker here. I'd say pretty decent speed at second. Should do it.
And that ball's catapulted to right field. Moore camps under it. A little bit of trouble reading that, but makes a corral out in right field. So the Wolves, sixth inning, the door is shut closed. Had a threat going, could not muster anything across the board. Jags' turn when we come back. So the lone rough fourth inning for Sorcia keeps him at a quality start on the bump, and the Wolves elect for him to stay in this ball game.
It could be at any given moment, though, because that bullpen has been occupied for Newberry for a solid 2 innings.
And now Mason Robertson looks to ignite the offense once more for the Jags and played across some insurance runs, but he's got to get on base first. Sorcia's first pitch to Robertson in this pitcher-batter matchup is a strike. Buried a fastball on the inside corner.
Oh.
Fastball navigates its way over to the outside corner, so executing 2 straight fastballs on the corners.
Strike zone expanding a little bit.
Pretty good strategy for Sorcia. Sinker. Robertson notices it, though, and gets the bat head around on it, but lifts it out to center field. That is where Hyman takes care of the first out. You've got your catcher on the day for the Jags and Caleb McElwaney. ready to bat here in the bottom half of the sixth. Sorcia exploiting the inside corner with great consistency this inning. Sinker, great vision there from McElwaney just to let that ball sink. So now the count is back even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Two balls and 2 strikes on the count. And that ball squirted out to Sorcia. Fires over. Second out is obtained. Sorcia is looking for another 1-2-3 inning here.
It would be the first 1-2-3 inning, I believe, by either pitcher. Yeah, I mean, this will be the first 1-2-3 for any team, for either team. Sorcia is still a starter. Good breaking ball.
Phenomenal curve on that curve, and Judge could not help but just admire the beauty of it, and they're down a strike.
A little low, I guess.
Fastball does its job, but just cannot pinpoint the accuracy on it. This is the first ball of the at-bat. Slider gets a second strike.
3 strikeouts on the day for Sorcia. Gray was one of them back in the 4th.
He's looking to set him down again, but Gray taps it out to shortstop. Misplayed and kicked around out there.
There's that in-between hop that we talked about earlier. Just a tale of 2 different guys. Allman decided to charge, and Maddox in the first inning decided to sit back. So those in-between hops are always the tough ones, but he'll be charged with an error there. And speak of Maddox, he's up. Augusta's got to make Newberry pay for that one. That was a gift.
Absolutely. As Sorcia now tries to come back. First pitch sinker. Doesn't get any offer at it. And it's a ball and no strikes.
Outfield straight away. Infield at regular depth. Second baseman Lansdowne is on the outfield grass, that is.
Another sinker this time. Same result.
Sorcia's got to put that error out of his mind. It seems like it's lingering a bit and messing with command a little bit. He's got to go right after Maddox here. Don't want the top of the order coming up. Missed inside all 3 pitches. Got a couple arms down there. The lefty for Newberry is still throwing. They got another pitcher down there that's stretching out right now.
Call could have gone either way on a fastball. It went in Newberry's favor as the Wolves garnered their first strike of the at-bat. Good job from Maddox there, battling back and staying alive, fouling that fastball off to the left, trying to improve his timing on the next pitch. As the count is now juiced at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Gray will be off with the pitch. First baseman Ackard backs off to not hold him on.
And that that ball shot into right field. A great piece of hitting, just going with a pitch from Maddox, and that not only moves up Gray to second base, but far enough in right field that Gray can mosey on to third base. So you got runners on the corners now.
And with Gray going on that pitch, he was going to go to third either way. No matter really where that ball was hitting right field, he was going to take third easily.
As there are 2 outs on the board.
And that might be it. See what we get here from Newberry's head coach.
So the Jags, thus far this game, their bats have brought to life 7 hits
and they
on the evening.
Newberry will make the call to the bullpen. So we'll have the new name and number when we come back. Back here at Lake Olmsted Stadium, J. Douglas, Blake Collins. Newberry makes the call to the bullpen. Relieving Sorcia, it'll be Robert Westenrider. 5th appearance, all in relief. No record, 2.84 ERA, 6 1/3, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 4 walks, 9 strikeouts, 280 opponents hit against Robert Westenrider. For Newberry, he is charged with the task of keeping the Jags off the scoreboard.
Yeah, the Wolves are playing matchup here as the left-hander comes in to face the righty of Devin Billardello.
Final line for Sorcia, 7 2/3, 7 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 3 strikeouts, and 3 walks. I gave him an extra walk, but he only has 3. So 3 walks, 3 strikeouts for Sorcia.
So,
and in line for the loss. Excuse me, Blake, in line for the loss right now.
Westenrider with the advantage in this match. Or no, excuse me, Billardello with the advantage in this matchup. Lefty facing a righty. Westenrider looking to keep the ball down, and he does just that off a fastball blowing right past the bat of Billardello.
All runs scored in this inning will be unearned. And I should add that Sorcia is responsible for the 2 men out there, so his ERA will not worsen, but he'll definitely have the 2 runs charged against him if they score.
Westenrider pinches the outside corner there. Billardello's down, 2 strikes.
Nobody covering second, and that's a free base for Maddox.
Phenomenal vision on the base pass for Maddox, taking advantage of every opportunity the Jags can to muster across some insurance runs. High fastball.
To be honest, I've never seen that play where the pitcher's just sitting in the stretch and the runner takes off. I've never really seen that before. So.
And you may not ever again, especially with a lefty at the dish who has an easier path to throw over to first base to keep him at bay. But as we said earlier, the fielders were playing back, so Maddox just decides to take off and make it without a throw.
Base hit will more than likely score 2. That's Maddox's just his first stolen base. So, and these again will be 2 unearned runs because of the error by the shortstop, Allman. And that error came with 2 outs, so all this with 2 outs. A fly out and a ground out got the inning started.
Proverbial Yahtzee on the board now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs as Bill Ordello skies one into left field. It's in foul territory, but playable for the shortstop, and that takes care of the threat in the 6th. We migrate to the top half of the 7th. The Wolves have some work to do. Let's see what they can do right after this. So as we get set here in the top half of the 7th inning, the Jaguars call to their bullpen again. And to tell you more about that and to take you play-by-play through the 7th through the 9th inning, here is my partner, James.
Thank you very much, Blake. Good stuff there, giving us a 3-1 lead. Pugh, 0-1, 7th appearance, 14.40 the ERA, 10 innings pitched, 18 hits, 16 runs, all of them earned, 10 walks, 9 strikeouts. Opponents hit .360 against him. He's the new pitcher for the Jags. He comes in after Aaron Chick gave up 1 hit, no runs in his inning of work. And I like what Augusta's doing here, giving their guys in the bullpen a chance to show that, hey, maybe we kind of got off to a rough start, but we have a lot left in the tank.
Absolutely. Not only that, but trying to bring down those ERAs that you covered when we first were talking about it in the 4th inning.
So 8-9-1, Spangler due up first against Cody Pugh. And did that hit him? No, we call foul. I guess hit him.
He tried to spin out of the way. The question is, did it get him in the back or the back of the elbow?
I thought that he threw it up to say foul ball, but I guess when you throw it up, it's also dead ball too. So
right.
Hit by pitch for Spangler, and that'll be Dalton Lansdowne to the plate, who is 0 for 1 with a run scored, that run being unearned.
And right now the Wolves will take any type of runners on base that they can get them in any situation, hit by pitch, single, whatever you can do. Now the job for the Wolves is to navigate him over to second base and see if they can play to run.
Just indeed low, though, on that pitch from Pugh, 1-0 to Lansdowne. And Spangler, who got that throw over initially, just 1 for 1 on stolen bases, so doesn't run much. See if Pugh can, he'll bluff, or he'll throw over to first, rather, and back in time is Spangler. So Lansdowne, the only run scored for Newberry, and this game very much in question for Augusta here. They lead 3-1. Bunt shown again, pulls back, pitch high, 2-0.
The wheel play will be in session for the Jags on defense. First baseman crashes down, as well as the third baseman. Shortstop goes to cover second. Second baseman will cover first, and then Gray will charge third base if it's bunted that way.
Pugh misses outside again, 3-0 now, and if you're Lansdowne, you got to take this pitch because Pugh officially has not thrown any strikes. 3 balls, and then that hit by pitch counts as a ball, so that's 4 pitches, 4 balls.
So a little bit of a rocky start for Pugh.
Bunt from Lansdowne, pulls it back, right down the middle. Lansdowne thought it was ball 4, and he's called back.
Yeah, pulled back initially, thought that it did not touch the inside corner.
See what Newberry's head coach wants to do. Lansdowne, see what he calls him to do here. 3-1, nope, over to first. Back in time is Spangler. So Pugh got off to the rocky start. He's trying to battle back against Lansdowne. Jay Douglas, Blake Collins here at Lake Olmsted Stadium. Jags on top, 3-1. Here's a 3-1. Bunt shown inside, pulls back, and they call it a ball. And that is back-to-back free passes. So first to second, nobody out. Here comes the top of the order. And Danton Hyman, who probably had the hardest hit ball of the game. So we'll see what Hyman is asked to do with the tying runs on. He represents the go-ahead run, and McElwaney quickly out to talk to his pitcher, Pugh, who not the start that Pugh had wanted here in this inning. Looks like Coach Howell wants to
talk it over,
yeah.
And it could possibly be the end of the game for Pugh, as you do have a right-handed sidewinder in the bullpen for the Jags.
Newberry's head coach, by the way, Russell Triplett, coaching down at third. So Coach Triplett and Coach Howell meeting for the second time in back-to-back years here at Lake Olmsted Stadium. We had a dandy last year, and it hasn't been as exciting this year, but it's still a very close game very much in doubt. We could definitely see fireworks before the end of the game.
Absolutely, and it's also a test to how much stamina the Wolves have, because they played a game earlier today because they got rained out yesterday, and then having to play the second game here tonight. So it's
and travel time.
Exactly, to even be this close in the ballgame is a testament to them, but also very good bullpen work for the Jags thus far.
Bunt attempt for Hyman goes foul. So 0-1 to Hyman. Let's see how far the trek down here is from Newberry, South Carolina. We'll get that for you in just a moment. Count is 0-1 as first baseman Zach Goebel comes over to talk with Cody Pugh. Goebel back to his position. Pugh back on the mound. First and second, it's free bags for both guys on. Hit by pitch Spangler. Walk to Lansdowne. And here's Hyman. Bunt again. Bunts it left side. It's going to stay fair. Plays it first, and they won't have one. Hyman with that speed got down the line, and the bases are now loaded. Spangler at third, Lansdowne at second, and Hyman at first.
It's a break for the Wolves because initially McElwaney should have fielded that ball, and Gray should have helped and covered third base for the out over there. Now you got bases juiced with nobody out, and the Wolves on a single here could tie this ball game up.
By the way, the commute from Newberry to Lake Olmsted Stadium is about an hour and a half on a bus, I would imagine. It's 1:26 officially, but I'm sure that bus traveling slower, it's going to add to the time. Swing and a miss for Colin Allman, who comes to the plate at 0 for 2 with a sac fly RBI. So a hit by pitch, a walk, and a single is what's on base. 3-1 Jags here in the top of the seventh. Jay Douglas and Blake Collins bring you all the play-by-play action. Infield in on the corners. Swing and a miss, strike two. Good job by Pugh to battle back. Allman's in a hole.
Keeping the ball low is what the doctor ordered for Pugh right there. He does just that, and he wants to keep the ball low because right now the Jags will trade a run for a double play and trade the outs for that run.
See what Pugh offers up here. Fastball flown left center field. It's going to be Billardello in left center. He catches it, tagging and coming to the plate to score is going to be Spangler. So Allman does his job, a sac fly RBI, and it's so deep that Lansdowne and Hyman are able to advance as well. So a great piece of hitting from Allman to do his job and pick up his second RBI of the game.
Absolutely. Inside, outs that pitch. Goes the other way with it. Stabilizing his hands in the zone and pushing with his hands first, and the bat comes behind the hands to get that pitch out into left field. Great piece of hitting for Lyman. Or Hyman.
Here is Olnerchuk, who is 2 for 3. Ground ball right side, past Goebel. It's going to tie the game up. Can it get the out? No! Throw gets away, run coming in, and Newberry takes the lead. So Lansdowne will score. It may be an infield hit, and then the throwing error that allows the second run to score. So we'll say an infield single going to second on the error. So Hyman comes home to score. So 3 runs in the inning, and only 2 of them are earned. And still, well, 1 out rather on the sac fly RBI. So Herring is now your hitter with a runner at second and 1 out, and Newberry on top. Ground ball foul up the left side. Well, that is a very tough break. You got the ground ball you wanted. Robertson just couldn't make the throw to Pugh covering as it went past Goebel. The run from third, Lansdowne was going to score anyways because that ball was hit so slow.
Right.
But then the throwing error by Robertson allowed Hyman to come home. A little bit of adversity as that pitch is downstairs for a ball. Count is now even 1-1.
And it's tough to gauge the speed of the runner, but in that situation, you just want to hold on to the ball instead of forcing it.
So Newberry climbs from all the way back, down 3-0 at one point. They've now scored 4 unanswered to lead it 4-3. So Cochran will not factor into the decision. Breaking ball in there for a call strike, 1-2. Pugh's got to battle back, get his team back in the dugout without any further damage done. And foreshadowing Augusta in the bottom of the 7th, it'll be 2, 3, and 4. 1-2 from Pugh to Herring. Here it is. Fastball swung on and missed. They'll have to throw him out. McElhaney will do so, and Pugh will record a strikeout. Good job by Cody to come back and get his man. And now the Jags are 1 out away from getting out of the inning with only trailing by 1. It'll be up to Tyler Ackert to keep the inning going.
Had Herring off balance with that sinker.
So there are 2 hits in the inning. 2 hits in the inning, a pair of free bases, and 1 error. Runner at second. Here's the first pitch from Pugh. Gets through McElhaney. Runner going to third. And I think that'll be a... Not sure which way to score that one. It went through the wickets of McElhaney. Probably be a wild pitch, though, to allow Olenchuk to go to third. Ackert is 2 for 3. A double and a single. He's had a hot bat tonight. The 5th run of the game stands 90 feet away. Flown off left side foul, 1-1. If the inning continues, it is Harrison Kennard who will come up next. And any other runs... Oh, no, never mind. I was going to say other runs would be unearned, but that's not true at all. Ball downstairs, 2-1. Because Olenchuk was going to be safe anyway, so that error did not prolong the inning. 2-1 from Pugh to Ackert. Downstairs again, 3-1 now. Well, if you're Ackert, you can sit on something here because you know Pugh does not want to walk him.
Right. And he's probably looking at a fastball here. Maybe center cut, maybe a little bit more elevated.
He located it well. Ackert might have been looking for something else. Full count now. And Pugh needs a strike to get out of the inning. Kennard on deck. It's been 3 runs in the inning. A hit by pitch, a walk, a pair of singles, and an error. Right down the middle, called strike 3. Ackert didn't think so, but that was a very good off-speed pitch. Maybe a breaking ball as well. Pugh comes back to strike, last 2 out. But Augusta now trails for the first time tonight as Newberry picks up 3 runs in the inning off of 2 hits. There was an error, and it was a costly one. Augusta trying to fight back. It's stretch time here at the ballpark. We're back in a moment. Like to welcome everybody back to Lake Olmsted Stadium. It's 8 o'clock here local time here in Augusta, Georgia. Jay Douglas, Blake Collins bring you Augusta and Newberry. Newberry grabs the lead with 3 runs in the top of the 7th. It's up to the Jags to come back right here. Jim Wagner, Harrison Moore, and Zach Goebel due up for the Jags here against Robert Westenrider, who is now the pitcher of record. Sorcia gets out of there with a no decision. And we'll take a look at the 180 of that as that pitch is in there for a called strike. So Cochran, a phenomenal day, but he will not factor into the decision as well. So it's got to be a tough day for him. He looked absolutely amazing out there. That is a check swing foul. Wagner didn't mean to, but now Westenrider is ahead, 0-2.
Wagner that time had too much plate coverage, covering the outside part of the plate, got a fastball inside, and tried to check his swing, just could not hold up.
Wagner 1 for 2. Wagner, ground ball into the 5-6 hole. Allman deep in the hole, makes the throw, not in time. So Wagner gets an infield hit, and Westenrider will give up his first hit of the day. And that will bring up Harrison Moore, and this is the guy you want up. He the tying run is on. He represents the go-ahead run, my mistake. Moore is 0 for 2 with a walk. That's Wagner's second hit of the day.
There have been numerous times throughout the season where he's come up with not only the bases juiced, but runners in scoring position and runners on first base, and he's done his job to navigate them to different bases, and he's also had the responsibility of plating some runs as well and knocking some in. So you're right, definitely not the guy you want to face in this predicament if you are Westenrider.
He showed bunt that first time, and it nearly hit him. I'm not sure about bunting with the 3-hole hitter taking the bat out of his hands. But Coach Howell has confidence, I guess, in Gale coming up as that's pushed foul right side. Or, excuse me, Goebel coming up. And, I mean, I guess it's pick your poison. Your 3-4 hitters are usually your best hitters. So Coach Howell has confidence that Goebel, if this sacrifice is successful, he puts the ball in play, Wagner can score.
Right. And if you're going to let him continue to bunt here, it's interesting because in a bunt scenario, you want the ball to attack the bat and deaden the baseball instead of trying to attack the baseball. And that way, you get the ball more centered into the ground and have more time for that runner to advance to the next bag.
Wagner's already stolen a base tonight. That was his second of the season as Westenrider threw over. Newberry has another lefty in the pen, by the way. 1-1, bunt shown, popped up in the air, and not caught. Oh, Augusta catches a huge break. Chase Barbary had a beat on it, but it bobbled out of his glove. That is a gift.
A massive break for the Jags, but you've got to give Barbary credit for the effort.
Oh, yes,
there.
Absolutely.
A phenomenal diving attempt, just could not come up with the baseball. He tried with his glove and the hand and just could not juggle it and corral it. But
had to cover a lot of ground, too.
Absolutely, and he gives the Jags another chance here with 2 strikes.
See if Moore can put it in play. Huge hole on the right side with Wagner being held on. Westenrider from the stretch. Here's the pitch home. Swing and a miss, he got him. Moore goes down, unable to get the sacrifice down. Lack of execution does the Jags in there, but no harm done. Goebel coming up with 1 out in the inning. Wagner remains at first. That'll be the first strikeout for Westenrider, and it comes at a big spot, but Goebel very capable. Although Goebel's 0 for 3, he's put the ball in the air all 3 times. Let's see if he tries to get on top of one and put it in the ground. Good curveball there in there for a strike, 0-1.
You want to level the baseball out here, swing and hit it right dead in the center and create a line drive instead of knocking it on the ground or putting it in the air, because you have more of a chance of a base hit on a line drive with them playing straight up in the infield and straight up in the outfield in this predicament with you being down by 1 run.
Westenrider threw over to first. Wagner was back in time. Both bullpens are occupied. Newberry has 2 guys throwing down there. Augusta with 1. Ball outside. 1-1 now from Westenrider. See what Westenrider offers up Goebel here. Wagner at first, who had an infield single. Harrison Moore struck out. Goebel was flown to center twice and flown to right. Low and inside on that pitch. 2-1 now to Zach Goebel with Bakari Gale on deck.
With the middle infield for the Wolves playing back, Goebel does have the hole on the first base side open to him if he wants to go that way. They also are playing double play depth as well, playing back.
Swing and a miss, took something off that one, 2-2. Beautiful changeup from Weston Ryder. And now he's a strike away from getting back-to-back strikeouts. See if Goebel can make contact here and put it in a hole somewhere. Wagner at first, who had an infield single. Here's the 2-2 from Weston Ryder. Flown right side, but it'll get out of play. Foul. We'll do it again at 2-2.
Goebel with the protection right there at the plate, and that initially is what caused him to be a little bit late, trying to gauge what was coming to him. Good job to stay alive, though, at the dish for Goebel.
Wagner off first. Weston Ryder stretches. Pitches home. Ground ball through on the right side. Wagner will take a turnaround second, but he'll hold there. And that's a hit for Goebel, his first hit of the night. And the Jags get something going, first and second. A pair of hits in the inning, and here's Bakari Gale.
And it's just what we talked about. The defensive setup for the Wolves came back to haunt them, playing back in double play. Goebel noticed that, executed the swing, put it over on the first base side of the diamond through that hole, and the Jags are cooking now with a threat brewing.
Gale 1 for 3, a double, a run scored back in that fourth inning where Augusta scored all their runs. He has struck out. He did his last time. So Wagner at second, Goebel at first. Nothing cheap about Goebel's hit right there. First offering to Gale. Good-looking breaking ball inside for a strike, 0-1. Robertson on deck if the inning continues. As we know, a double play could end the inning. A base hit could tie it up. Wagner with pretty decent speed out at second. Weston Ryder from the stretch. Pitch home. High and outside for a ball, 1-1.
Gale could elevate the ball. He's got great real estate in right center field if he wants to pursue and try to get a hit in that direction. And that most certainly would send Wagner from second home and probably Goebel from first to third if he does expose that right center
wind
field.
Blowing straight out. Not much, but a little. In the dirt, blocked up by Barbary. No advance. 2-1 now. And you said it. Hyman pulled over into left center a little bit. So there is that huge gap if Gale can go the other way. And with the hole being so wide on the infield, too, a slow roller that gets through that, Wagner might be able to come home, too.
Absolutely. And here's another thing. If a ground ball chopper gets past a pitcher and it deadens right there, that's another hit for the Jags because at where they're playing back, almost on the fringe of the grass, it will be tough for them to come down, field that transfer, and throw anybody out. So there's a number of options here on the table for the Jags. Now they've got to execute.
And a hitter's count for Gale, 3-1. Weston Ryder might come in with something. Don't want to walk him and load him up. That would bring Robertson to the plate. 3-1 from Weston Ryder. Stretch and pitch. Downstairs, blocked up by Barbary, and it's a walk for Gale. So Newberry had the bases loaded last inning. And now it's Augusta's turn to retaliate. That'll be the first free pass for Weston Ryder. And Robertson comes to the plate at 0 for 2. A walk and a run scored back in the fourth. A pop out and a fly out. He bats here with 1 out in the bottom of the seventh. Augusta trailing 4-3.
Two things you can ill afford if you're a Jack: a strikeout and a double play. Thing you want to work on here is being disciplined, and also if you get your pitch to hit, elevate it into the outfield far enough to where Wagner can come in and score from third.
That might do it for Weston Ryder. Coach Triplett is out. And let's see if we get a signal to the bullpen. There's a lefty and a righty throwing, or actually two lefties. Check that. Two lefties down there in the Newberry bullpen, and there's a signal. Newberry will make a call to the bullpen, so Weston Ryder's day is done. We'll have the new name and numbers when we come back. Augusta trying to tie this game back up. Newberry leads it 4-3 in the bottom of the seventh. Welcome back to Lake Olmsted Stadium. Newberry makes the call to the bullpen. The new pitcher is number 3, Quentin Driggers. This will be his 9th appearance, all in relief. 0-1, 6.75 ERA, 5 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 runs. They're all earned. 7 walks, 5 strikeouts. Opponents hit .263 against Quentin Driggers, who tries to nail down shut down the threat, I should say. The pitcher of record right now is Weston Ryder, but his day is done after 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, a walk, a strikeout. No runs yet, but he is responsible. Bases are loaded. Wagner, infield single at third. Goebel, single at second. Gale, walk at first. First pitch to Robertson. In there for a called strike. See if Robertson can put the ball in play. Robertson is 0 for 2. A walk, a run scored, and a pair of flyout. Well, one flyout and a pop out. So he's put the ball in the air, his 2 outs of the game. Nothing in 1 from Driggers. Stretch and pitch. Outside, ball 1, 1-1. Got to be very disciplined if you're Robertson here.
And that's the good approach to it. He didn't swing at the first one. Driggers went right back outside. Did not swing at the second one. Noticed it was going a little bit further outside this time around. He's got an even count to work with, but still you want to have that good discipline at the plate.
Swing and a miss on that one, 1-2. The corners are in to come home with the ball. Middle infield at double play depth to try and get out of the inning.
If it's a sharp ground ball to first or third, they're coming home then throwing to first. If it's not, then that redirects the whole play.
1-2 to Robertson. Got to protect here. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Very close. Rung up. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Looked like a slider that broke enough and stayed in the zone enough for it to be rung up. So Robertson is done. McElhaney, it's up to him to try and get these run in.
You want to protect if you're the Jags, but right there wasn't much Robertson can do with that pitch looking like it was out of the zone, coming back at the last second, cutting across on the outside corner. There's not much he could have done there.
McElhaney will hit. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Nothing in 1. 2 outs, bases still loaded. Newberry ahead 4-3. Augusta has out-hit Newberry, but trail on the scoreboard.
You got a sinker there, a little bit too aggressive. You want to stay as disciplined as you can at the dish.
Here's the 0-1. Good-looking breaking ball. Was a little too inside and maybe a little low. 1-1 now to McElhaney, who is 2 for 3. A single, a pair of singles actually, 2 RBIs and a run scored. A pair of 3-run innings for both teams. A 3-run 4th for Augusta, a 3-run 7th for Newberry. Ball outside, 2-1 to McElhaney. Timothy Gray on deck, 0 for 3 would hit next.
Keep an eye out now for anything inside if you're McElhaney. And also keep an eye out for up and in as well, because that's a place where the Wolves have not gone in this at-bat.
Ground ball right side, could end the inning. Second baseman Fields throws to first, covering. He's off the bag. Do they call him out? They call him out. And Coach Howell right away. And McElhaney's about to be thrown out of the game, it looks like. Howell is over to argue. Boy, I thought that Ackert came off the bag, but our field umpire, who is out close to second base, said he held the bag enough, and that's going to end the inning. Howell still carrying on the argument. We'll see. Yeah, they're going to uphold the call. That was a tough break for Augusta. They load the bases with 1 out and cannot get it home. We head to the top of the 8th. 4-3 Wolves on top. Back in just a moment. Welcome back to Lake Olmsted Stadium. Jay Douglas, Blake Collins here, bringing you all the action. We moved to the 8. A very tough end to that bottom of the 7th. It looked like McElwain was safe when the first baseman, Ackert, came off the bag, but our field umpire said Ackert held the bag enough, and the throw beat McElwain to the bag, and Augusta was turned away. Augusta makes a call to the bullpen. Brendan Berger coming in. So Pugh's night is done. Berger, 9th appearance, all in relief, 0-2 record, 6.61 ERA, 16 in the third innings pitched, 19 hits, 14 runs, 12 of them earned, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. Opponents hit .311 against Brendan Berger. 6, 7, and 8 coming up for the Wolves. Harrison Kennard, Chase Barbary, and Peyton Spangler all coming up pending any changes. If you're Augusta, you just got to go out to the field, get your 3 outs, and get back in the dugout.
Absolutely.
That is a very tough way to end the inning. I mean, you're a long ways off from seeing that. I mean, I think the home plate umpire has a better shot at seeing the play at first than the field umpire does, but that play is moot, and we move on. So Kennard 0 for 2 with a walk, strikeout, and pop-out. Berger's first delivery. Fastball in there for a called strike, 0-1. 4-3 Newberry on top. Jay Douglas, Blake Collins here at Lake Olmsted Stadium. Augusta trying to get their 7th win of the season. 0-1 from Berger. Breaking ball stayed high and possibly outside, 1-1.
Kennard has the center of the diamond to his disposal if he wants to shoot one back up the gut.
No doubt about that. Outfield fairly straight away. That breaking ball's in there for a called strike, 1-2. Kennard not taking the bat off his shoulder yet. See if he swings at this one.
Not only a quick, efficient inning for the Jags, but you want to try to get out of this inning with as it pitches battle.
Ground off foul, yeah.
But you want to try to get out of this inning with as little pitches to the plate as you possibly can, so that way Berger's arm is still fresh if he comes back out for the 9th.
This is the 5th pitcher of the night for the Jags, and Pugh right now would be the tough luck loser after Cochran started and pitched a whale of a game. 1-2 from Berger. Swing and a miss, high fastball, and that is a strikeout. Kennard's second strikeout of the day, and Berger records his first strikeout. That'll be the 7th for the Jags as a team. Did I short one? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's 7. Okay. Chase Barbary up 0 for 2 rather. First pitch from Berger. Good slider there in there for a called strike. 0-1. 1 out in the inning. 4-3 Newberry on top here in the top of the 8th. 6 outs for Augusta to work with. Downstairs on that one, 1-1.
Good idea to lay off. He initially started his swing with that step through, but held back the hands.
1-1 from Berger. Here it is. Slider flown into right field. It's shallow. Coming on is Moore, and he makes the catch. So fly out to Harrison Moore, and Peyton Spangler will bat. He got the rally started in the top of the 7th when he was hit by a pitch. He came around to score. He's 0 for 1 on the night, and his only registered at bat was a strikeout. Berger needs an out to get his team back in the dugout. Augusta leaving Newberry with the center of the diamond open. Breaking ball downstairs, 1-0 the count. Outfield straight away. Berger's wind and pitch. Here it is. Berger comes at you from the side, so those balls are going to break a little more or not break enough when you throw like that. 2-0 from Berger. Here it comes. Yep, okay. I was about to say, that one looked pretty good. I do apologize. Our home plate umpire is a little late with the calls, so we do apologize, but that was a good pitch, and he did get the call there, did Berger.
It's a different angle for the Wolves to deal with. Seeing the release point is different.
On the inside corner, strike number 2. Good job by Berger to battle back to even it up. 2-2 the count, 2 outs, nobody on. Newberry in front, 4-3. Augusta needs a strike to get back in the dugout and try and tie this game up before the end. Wind-in pitch on the 2-2. Good breaking ball, but it stayed outside and possibly low as well. Full count now. Berger waits for his sign. Shakes off a couple times. Now he wants something else. Spangler in from the left side. If he reaches, Lansdow's on deck. Payoff on the way from Berger. Here it is. Fastball flown in right center field. Moore breaking up for it, and he will get there. So Moore makes a couple of outs. Berger also had a strikeout, and Newberry is turned away in the 8th. No runs, no hits, no errors. And that might be the first 1-2-3 inning of the night. We'll check it when we come back. Augusta comes to bat trailing by 1, 4-3 Newberry on top. Welcome back, everyone, to Lake Olmsted Stadium. We're getting late, folks. It's the bottom of the 8th. Jay Douglas, Blake Collins here with you. Augusta and Newberry doing battle. Newberry makes a call to the bullpen. It's number 7, Hunter Hill. Hill with his 6th appearance, 0-1 the record, 3.48 ERA, 10 1/3 innings pitched, 6 runs, 4 of them earned, 7 walks, 11 strikeouts. Opponents hit 179 against Hunter Hill. Driggers comes in and pitches a third of an inning and did not give up anything in his third of an inning. And now we get a change in right field now. We get number 13, Colin Santiago, in right field, taking over for Harrison Kennard. So Santiago is the new right fielder. And the batter for Augusta is Tim Gray. See what Hill offers up here in the bottom of the 8th. Hill's first offering. Fly ball back our way and over our heads for strike number 1. Gray is 0 for 3. Grounded into a double play, struck out, and reached on an error. Swing and miss. Ball stopping in 2.
Took a little bit of mustard off of that changeup. He initially pulled off a fastball and had Gray out in front of that second pitch with a changeup.
The 0-2. Fly ball on the infield. Hill comes off the mound, but he'll give way to his first baseman, Ackert, who makes the play. So pop out 3 retires Timothy Gray, and Trent Maddox will come up, who is 2 for 3. He's had a pretty good night. A pair of singles, an RBI, and a stolen base. He has also struck out, though. Nobody on, 1 out, 4-3 Wolves on top. Augusta will have one final shot if they cannot tie it up here in the 8th. Here's the pitch. Beautiful pitch in there for a call strike, 0-1. The third inning, the 3 runs in the top of the 7th for Newberry is the difference. The 0-1. Breaking ball, fouled back, 0-2.
You could tell he wanted to rip that slider to shreds just a little bit late on that pitch, but it was elevated enough to where if he would have made contact with good timing, that ball could have been out of here.
0-2 the count to Maddox. Here it is. Way outside on that slider, 1-2. 4-3 Newberry on top. Augusta has out-hit the Wolves, but trail on the scoreboard. Wind and pitch, 1-2 to Maddox. Downstairs, yes, 2-2. The wind picking up a little bit out to center field. And center fielder Hyman is pulled over to the left a little bit. 2-2 pitch to Maddox. Curveball. Swinging a drive, but not as deep as I thought. Right at the left fielder, Olenchuk. He catches it for the out.
Yeah, Olenchuk didn't have to move much, but a good approach there by Maddox to go the opposite field. He just golfed at it and got a little bit too much power behind it, and he's retired.
So Devin Villadero will come to the plate 0 for 3 with 1 for 4 with a pair of foul outs. The first pitch to Devin is downstairs for a ball, 1-0.
If Villadero reaches, it's up to Wagner to continue this inning. But if that happens, then the Wolves will have the Jags 3, 4, and 5 batters to contend with in the Jags half of the ninth inning.
2-0 to Villadero. Here it is. That's fouled back our way. Coming up. Whew. I got a little too close for comfort there. 2-1 to Villadero. Here it comes. Fly ball off right side, foul. Count is even 2-2. Good job by Hill to battle. And Villadero now has to protect the plate with the count even 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 4-3. Newberry on top here in the bottom of the 8th. Hill, wind and pitch. Here it is. Fly ball, center field. Hyman's on the run for it, but he'll have plenty of room. Makes the catch in right center for the final out. Villadero gave it a drive, but not deep enough, and Hyman makes the out. So as Augusta in the top of the 8th get a 1-2-3 inning, Newberry returns the favor in the bottom of the 8th. We go to the 9th. 4-3, Newberry on top. We're back to Lake Olmsted Stadium in a moment. Welcome back to Lake Olmsted Stadium. We're in the 9th, folks. Jay Douglas, Blake Collins here. Augusta needs 3 outs, and then they got to come from behind against Newberry. Newberry's 3-run 7th inning is the difference. Berger got himself a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 8th. He looks to do it again here in the top of the 9th. Dalton Lansdowne leading off, Danton Hyman, and then Colin Allman. 8:30 here local time. Wind and pitch from Berger. Downstairs and inside for a ball, 1-0. Augusta, it's probably the way that Berger pitches, leaving the middle so wide open. Outfield play straight away.
Yeah, Berger has good late movement on his pitches, so if it looks like if it's in the middle of the plate, it's going to tail back inside.
Popped up on the infield. Berger wants it himself. Now he'll be called off by Goebel, who runs in from first to get it for the out. Always want your fielder to take it rather than your pitcher, so good job by Goebel to take command out there. And good communication, too, saying, I got it, I got it. So here's Hyman, who's 2 for 4 with a pair of singles and a run scored. And his run is the difference. It was an unearned run. Berger's first pitch to Hyman. Wind and pitch. Bunt shown, pulls back, and it dropped out of the zone for a ball, 1-0. Berger working pretty efficiently. He'll try and get his team back in the dugout. Here's the 1-0. Outside, 2-0. Allman on deck, and then Olenchuk. And right now, it is Olenchuk who has the game-winning at-bat. His infield single, and then the throwing error by Robertson. So his at-bat is the difference. The count is now 3-0 to Hyman. Here it is. Right down the middle for a strike, 3-1. Berger trying to battle back. Hyman the lefty from the righty Berger. Here it is. Inside, yes. Thought it might have gotten called a strike on the corner, but it was a little too far inside the walk for Hyman.
That late movement is what cost Berger there, but a good decision to try to barrel one inside. Get the strike on the inside corner.
Now Augusta will shift their defense to play double play depth, and the batter will be Colin Allman, who has a pair of sac fly RBIs. He's officially 0 for 2. So good night for him at the plate. Throw over to first, and they don't get him. That is twice that our field umpire has made a call at first base that Augusta has not liked. And Hyman is 5 of 7 on stolen bases.
Might not have had the best vantage point.
First pitch to Allman. Low and outside, blocked up by McElhaney. No advance, 1-0 the count to Ullman. You definitely want to try and get Ullman out here. That way it either ends the inning on a double play or Olenchuk bat outs. Berger checks his runner at first. Here comes the 1-0 to the plate. Inside, no, caught the corner. With the way things are going, you kind of really don't know where the zone is.
Exactly, and the safe route here for the Jags would be to keep the ball down and let the Wolves pound it into the ground.
The low strike has been there more than the high strike. Runner goes and it hit him up around the helmet. That's scary to see, but it seems like Ullman's going to be okay. He did turn out of the way of it. So it maybe got the back of the helmet, maybe the top of his back.
And it was a slider instead of a fastball, and that speed differential definitely plays a part there. So it's good to see him walking back up to first base off of that hit batsman.
They're going to talk to Berger. Coach Howell is out. Yeah, that one just got away from him. And Hyman was going on the play, and, you hear that call of runner mid-stride. It might throw off your timing a little bit. So,
right.
So the meeting on the mound is over. Coach Howell will stay with his righty Berger. Double play still in play. And here's the man of the hour right now, Olenchuk, 3 for 4.
And it looks like to this point it is still Berger's game, as there's not an arm in the bullpen for the Jags.
Newberry has a righty warming up. Berger needs an out somewhere, whether that be a fly ball out or a ground ball double play, maybe even the strikeout. There's time. Yeah, ball's on the field. Safety of the players is paramount, and that ball will be thrown back to the bullpen, and it's dropped over there by the Newberry staff. Here's the first pitch to Olenchuk. A long look. There's the pitch. Breaking ball. Fly ball center field. Billadero has a beat on it. Moves over to his left. Gets it. Back. All runners at first and second. Ball hit right at Billadero, and he makes the out. That's a big out to get Olenchuk there, and now Herring will try and do something with 2 outs. And are we going to get a pinch hitter? It looks like we are.
They had the right idea there with Olenchuk there trying to scoot it out to right field, just could not get it around on the bat enough. Shot it to center field. Not much time for the runner at second to tag up and shoot to third. So good play all around by the Jags. Not a productive at bat if you are the Wolves in this scenario.
Looks like pinch hitter number 8. That's Tommy Pesarillo. Yeah, Tommy Pesarillo will come up in a pitch hitting role to try and get the runs home, and it would be a big insurance run. So Herring the DA, so no fielding adjustment to be made there. Pesarillo a lefty. Here's pitch. Low and outside for a ball, 1-0. 2 outs in the inning. Newberry leads 4-3. Their runners this inning have been free passes, a walk and a hit by pitch. Here's the 1-0 to Pesarillo on the way. A little bit low. 2-0. And a hitter's count for Pesarillo. Definitely do not want to walk a pinch hitter here. And Pesarillo, by the way, is .313 hitter on the season.
The only bright side to walking him, if that turns out to what happens, is you have a force at any base on the diamond. So a ground ball anywhere could get you out of the inning.
Pesarillo, no home runs, 3 RBIs, 5 total hits, 5 of 16 on the season. And he hits here, making his 10th appearance. 3-0. High and outside, ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Pesarillo. Second walk in the inning for Berger. And now we'll get a pinch runner. Number 43, Daniel Trillo, will pinch run. So Trillo at first. Base is now full of Newberry Wolves, and a base hit, depending on where it is, might clear the bases, definitely might score 2, and Augusta leaving the middle very open. Here's Ackert at the plate. Berger trying to work out of a bases-loaded jam. First pitch, a little bit high, 1-0. Ackert is 2 for 4 on the day. A double, a single, a ground out, and a strikeout. Berger trying to bear down, trying to get his team back in the dugout with just a one-run deficit. Fly ball, right field, drop. 1 run is in. Here comes the second run. There will be no throw, and Newberry makes it 6-3. A single for Ackert. Scoring was Hyman and Allman on the play.
Berger did not get that as low as he wanted to. Great decision keeping the ball inside, making him work inside the strike zone for that hit, but he didn't get it down in the zone as much as he would have liked to, and there's where Ackert struck, bringing the hands inside and the bat to the baseball, and he's at first.
I think we got a pitch hitter for Kennard. Try and get the number for you. 13? 13 is Santiago. Yeah, he came in for right field. That's right. He came in at right field the last time. So Santiago hits for himself on the defensive substitution. So Kennard exits 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts, and Santiago enters to try and get Newberry's 7th run of the night. Berger trying to get out of the inning with his team just down by 3. Augusta's got some work to do. Here's a 2-0. Ground ball, third base. Fielded by Gray, throws to second for the force out, and the inning comes to a close, but not before. The Wolves strike for 2 runs. 2 runs in the inning off just 1 hit, a pair of walks, and a hit by a pitch. A rough inning for Berger. Offense looks to bail him out when we come back. We go bottom of the 9th. Like to welcome everybody back to Lake Olmsted Stadium. The final chance for the Augusta Jags. They trail by 3, 6-3 as we enter the bottom of the ninth. And a new pitcher for Newberry. It's number 32, Shannon Smith. 5th appearance, all in relief. 2 2/3, no record. 0.0 ERA, 1 hit. No walks, 2 strikeouts. Opponents hit 125 against Shannon Smith, looking to pick up his 2nd save of the season. This is a save situation. The pitcher of record right now is Weston Ryder. Robert Weston Ryder in position to get a win. And if Shannon Smith can get 3 outs, he'll pick up the save.
And if you're the Jags at this point, you're looking at any way you can get runners on. That's the way you're going to play this, because at this point, down by 3, you need 2 men on base to even stand a chance to come back in this game.
3 up, 3 down. Last inning for the Jags. Wagner, Moore, Goebel. Smith's first offering to Wagner. Downstairs for a ball. 1-0. 3 to tie, 4 to win for the Jags here in the bottom of the ninth. And I allude to it. Hey, we played 17 last time. Don't ever want to go that long this time. Heads up as that's fouled back our way. Let's see if Augusta can tie this game up and potentially win it. Here's the 1-1 to Wagner. He didn't go. He didn't go. No way. They rung him up? Wow.
Yeah. The umpire at that point said the bat head went around.
That did not look like he went from here. 1-2. That's a tough break for Augusta. Breaks have not gone their way tonight. Wagner needs to protect down in the count 1-2. Here's Smith's offering to him. Wind end pitch. Here it is. Downstairs. 2-2. It's very close. But it was called a ball. More to follow. Wagner, by the way, is 2 for 3 rather, with a pair of singles. His last single was an infield single.
Look for this pitch to be elevated a little bit.
Fly ball right side into foul territory. No play to be made. It lands out of play. Wagner out in front on that one. Count remains 2-2. Wagner trying to get on base for Harrison Moore. This is the part in the lineup the Jags want. See if they can get some runs. Their only runs came in the 4th inning. 2-2 pitch. Downstairs blocked up by Barbary. 3-2 full count. And now Wagner. You can be selective a little bit, but if it's close, you better take a hack at it.
Exactly. It's a disciplined, protective angle that Wagner's looking at, but also at the same time expect this pitch to be elevated somewhat.
Ground ball, second baseman, lands down. Fields throws out number 1. So Augusta down to their last 2 outs, and Zach Goebel will be the hitter. Harrison Moore, my bad. Harrison Moore is 0 for 3. A fielder's choice ground out, a pop out, and a strikeout. He's also walked.
He does have speed, so if he can get on base, look for chaos to ensue on the base pads for the Jags.
First pitch to him. High and inside for a ball, 1-0. 3 to tie, 4 to win for Augusta here in the bottom of the ninth, trying to pick up their 7th win of the season. And for Newberry, they will sweep this doubleheader, a home and away doubleheader, which you don't see a whole lot. On the inside corner, yes, strike 1. Newberry won a game earlier today at home, took the hour-and-a-half bus ride down here to play this game. They're looking to sweep their doubleheader. The third pitch is low.
Sinker doesn't entice Moore.
See if Moore can come through with this one. 2-1 from Smith. He sets and pitches. Here it is. High and tight again. 3-1. Now, got to either come in with something or walk him. See what Harrison Moore's approach is. See what Smith decides to throw on the other side as well. 3-1 pitch on the way. Here it comes. Ground ball. foul behind the plate. We'll have a brief wrap-up of the game today and a preview of what's to come for Augusta in the coming weeks. Augusta, a sub-500 team overall and in the conference, so trying to make those strides towards a postseason. The count is full to Harrison Moore with Zach Goebel on deck. Moore waits for a payoff pitch. Smith at the belt. Stretch and pitch. Here it is. Fastball. Grounded. Left side. Third baseman has it. Throw on to first in time for the out. Peyton Spangler makes the play. Augusta's down to their final out.
Good job at realizing how the ball was going to bounce. Started to charge. Held up. Looked to block the ball. Got it in his glove. Charged. Fired. Good play from the third baseman Spangler. If you're the Jags, though, down to your last out. Let's see what you can do.
Goebel at the plate. 1 for 4. He singled his last time up. Augusta had the bases loaded and 1 out in the 7th. Couldn't do anything about it. A controversial call at first base. That ball is on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. 2 outs in the inning. Newberry on top, 6-3 here in the 9th. Here's Smith's pitch. Beautiful breaking ball again. Goebel wanted to offer, but didn't swing at it, and Augusta's down to their final strike. Goebel's got to protect with the game on the line with this pitch. Here's the offering from Smith. He flinched at it, didn't go around. 1-2 with the ball off the plate, outside and low.
That's good vision right there, especially down to your last strike. Being able to hold the bat head back off the center of the plate. Phenomenal vision there by Goebel.
1-2. Smith needs a strike. Here it is. Flown out of play, right side, foul. Goebel stays. Goebel stays alive, 1-2. Shannon Smith trying to close this one out. It would be his 2nd save of the season. He needs a strike. 1-2 on the way. Downstairs, 2-2. The low strike. It's been there all night.
It's
got to be careful if you take one downstairs.
It's been prevalent this whole entire ball game, and that's set some of these hitters off kilter, and it resets the strike zone to where you almost have to swing at bad pitches.
Goebel fights off that breaking ball. Count still even, 2-2. Good battle by Goebel. Good battle by Goebel here, trying to keep it alive. Bakari Gale's on deck. Augusta needs 2 runners to get the tying run up there. 2-2 pitch on the way. Here it is. Breaking ball. Rung up. Called strike 3. Ugh.
Tough pitch to take if you're Goebel. I mean,
a backwards K ends it. Newberry takes the game 6-3. A 3-run top of the 7th is the difference. They added 2 more insurance runs in the 9th, and they take it 6-3 rather. They are now 11-9. Augusta drops to 6-14. Blake, your final thoughts on the game tonight?
The offense outside of 1 inning continues to be a little bit rough around the edges. They're garnering hits, but they're not stringing hits together. It's usually 1 inning where they come through big time, but they look for them to start putting innings together with multiple hits to be a force in the offense, and the bullpen continues to be a decline for the Jags. They've got to get that turned around. Now, bright side, Sloan came in, shut the door for an inning. Berger, outside of the 9th inning, did a really good job in the 8th for the Jags. Bright spots there. And if you're heading into this weekend with Young Harris, just work on those 2 things, and you should be in good shape. But for Newberry, winning the game today and then coming down here, as tired as they were, shows you the type of, and not only the type, but the caliber team that they are. Great ball game from them as well today.
A look at your final numbers. Danton Hyman goes 2 for 4 with a pair of runs scored. Colin Allman goes 0 for 2 with a couple sac flies, RBI, hit by pitch, and a run scored. Derek Olenchuk goes 3 for 5. Herring goes 0 for 3, or 0 for 4 rather. Pesarillo goes denied official at bat. Tyler Ackard goes 2 for 4. Harrison Kennard 0 for 3. And then Santiago 0 for 1. Chase Barbary goes 0 for 3 as well. Peyton Spangler for Newberry goes 0 for 2 with a run scored. And Dalton Lansdowne goes 0 for 2 with a run scored. The winning pitcher is Robert Westenrider. He's 1-0 now, 2/3 of an inning. He picks up the win. Shannon Smith picked up the save, his second. Cody Pugh, the tough luck loser, he's now 0-2. Had that tough 7th inning. For Augusta, Billadero goes 1 for 5 rather. Jim Wagner 2 for 4. Harrison Moore goes 0 for 4. Zach Goebel 0 for 4 as well. Bakari Gale 1 for 3 with a run scored. Mason Robertson 0 for 3 with a run scored. Caleb McElhaney 2 for 4 with a run scored and 2 RBIs. Timothy Gray 0 for 4, and Trent Maddox goes 2 for 4 with an RBI. Those are your final stats, as Augusta will now host that conference game against Young Harris, a Young Harris team that is sub 500 in the conference. They're 4-5, 8-10. Should be a game that Augusta could win, Blake.
Absolutely. I mean, especially coming off of this game, I mean, you had an inning, you scored 3 runs, so you look good in that inning, but just continue to work, continue to get better, continue to practice, and continue to try to, as we've been talking about, string together multiple hits in an inning and create chaos on the base paths if you're the offense, and that will do wonders for your offensive production. And not only that, just the bullpen is getting better and better each time. Only a couple of innings here where it kind of turns south a little bit, but overall today, really good job by the bullpen, and it's looking good for Young Harris Friday.
Well, that's going to do it for the broadcast tonight. Again, Newberry takes it 6-3. They get 3 runs in the 7th to take the lead. They add 2 in the 9th, and they do not allow Augusta to even get a runner on base the last 2 innings. We'll see you back here at Lake Olmsted Stadium. I'm not actually coming back till April, but best of luck to y'all on the weekend, and I'll see y'all back in April. For Blake Collins, I'm Jay Douglas. Thanks for tuning in. Good night, and we'll talk to you next time.